My wealthy girlfriend deliberately pretended to be poor to be with me. Her goal was to test if I was after her money, but her final test was to spend all of my money, the 100,000 yuan I saved to save my grandmother's life. Looking at the maxed out bank card in my hand, I was stunned. I couldn't recover for a long time. I suppressed my anger and spoke. What did you use the money for? Can you get it back? On the other end of the line, Shen Xiaowei was silent for a long time. Suddenly, she uttered a sentence. Jiang Chen, if I said I've spent all the money and can't get it back, what would you do? Hearing Shen Xiaowei say she'd spent all the money, my first thought was that the money was gone. Grandma couldn't have her surgery anymore. I was about to lose my last relative. Shen Xiaowei saw that I wasn't saying anything, so she spoke in a casual tone. I know I was wrong for not telling you first, but the money's all spent now. You won't blame me, right? It wasn't that much money anyway. When I earn money in the future, I'll make it up to you. I didn't wait for Shen Xiaowei to finish. I just hung up the phone. After that, I stood like a lost soul in front of the hospital's payment counter, motionless. Suddenly, my phone vibrated with a text message. Shui Mo Bar, room 602. There's a surprise. An unknown number. The message was confusing, but for some reason, a sense of unease rose within me. After hesitating for a few seconds, I left the hospital. I took a taxi straight to the bar. Meanwhile, to test me, Shen Xiaowei had gathered her bad friends to celebrate our one-year anniversary in advance. At that moment, the door to the private room was slowly pushed open. Everyone looked towards the sound, only to see a thin figure standing quietly at the door. When she saw clearly that it was me at the door, Shen Xiaowei suddenly stood up. She quickly walked to the door, her face full of confusion and panic, not understanding why I had suddenly appeared here. Jiang Chen. Shen Xiaowei's face was filled with panic. She reflexively reached out to take my hand, but I avoided it. Shen Xiaowei's heart sank. She hurriedly grabbed my hand to explain. Jiang Chen, it's not what you think. Let me explain. I looked at my girlfriend and suddenly gave a gentle smile, saying, Shen Xiaowei, let's break up. My voice was very gentle, but it was incredibly firm. Shen Xiaowei was stunned for a moment, then she shook her head desperately. No, 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 I won't break up. Jiang Chen, I can explain. I really can explain. I forcefully shook off Shen Qiaowei's hand. My voice remained gentle but very firm. Shen Qiaowei, let me go. I only have one request. Give me back my money. After a year together, Shen Qiaowei knew that I always meant what I said. Once I made a decision, no one could change it. If I said I wanted to break up, I would definitely not look back. But Shen Qiaowei didn't want to break up with me. She had gone through so much to be with me forever. She pleaded. Jiang Chen, I am begging you. Can we not break up? My gaze swept over everyone in the room. Finally, it landed on Song Jinnian. Song Jinnian was sitting in a corner that Shen Qiaowei couldn't see. He gave me a mocking smile, his mouth moving, as if to say, you can't compete with me. I ignored him and looked at Shen Qiaowei. I slowly spoke. Fine. We don't have to break up. Then give me the 100,000 yuan right now. I just need the 100,000. Shen Qiaowei's expression became a bit troubled. She bit her lip. Jiang Chen, can you wait one more day? Tomorrow, I can give you as much money as you want, please. I looked at her, disappointed, and uttered weakly. Shen Qiaowei, I just want the money for my bank card. Give me back my money. Shen Qiaowei still tried to step forward and hold on to me, but at that moment, my phone rang. The moment I saw the caller ID, I answered without hesitation. I don't know what was said on the other end. My face instantly turned pale. I turned to leave, but my wrist was grabbed by Shen Qiaowei. She pleaded miserably. Jiang Chen, I won't break up. Stay until tomorrow. I'll give you however much money you want. I turned to look at her, then slapped her hard across the face. Shen Qiaowei, we are completely over. With that, I shook her hand off and walked straight out without looking back. I rushed out of the bar. It was already late at night. The streets were empty, and taxis were pitifully few. The call just now was from the hospital. The doctor said my grandmother's condition had worsened. He told me to come to the hospital quickly. When I heard this news, I felt like the sky was falling. I desperately wanted to get to the hospital. I had absolutely no time to think about my situation with Shen Qiaowei. But after waiting for more than 10 minutes, there wasn't a single car on the road. Only a Maybach slowly approached from a distance. I was in a hurry to get to the hospital. I gritted my teeth and ran into the middle of the road. A piercing screech of brakes echoed through the quiet street. I slowly opened my eyes and saw the Maybach had stopped, less than 5 centimeters away. It almost sent me flying. I didn't have time to be scared. I rushed to the car and banged on the driver's window. The car window rolled down. The driver looked at me with a tense expression and asked, "Young man, are you okay?" I replied, "Ma'am, I beg you. Can you give me a ride to the hospital?" The driver looked awkwardly towards the back seat. An elegant woman was sitting there. I understood the driver had to obey the woman in the back, so I went straight to the back seat and knocked on the window. "Miss, could I trouble you for a ride? My grandmother is in critical condition. I am rushing to the hospital. Please help me." The driver heard what I said. She couldn't help but feel a bit moved. The woman nodded slightly. The driver was overjoyed and quickly told me to get in the front seat. As soon as I sat down, I smelled a pleasant fragrance. It gradually calmed my anxious mood. The car sped down the road. Half an hour later, the car stopped steadily in front of the hospital entrance. I hurriedly thanked Bai Luo Yan. Then I got out of the car immediately and ran straight to the operating room. The driver watched my retreating figure. She turned to look at Bai Luo Yan in the back seat and asked, "Miss, now shall we?" Before the driver could finish, she saw Bai Luo Yan in the back seat open the car door and walk into the hospital. The driver didn't dare to delay. She also got out and followed. The two of them quickly found me, standing in front of the operating room door. Grandma had been taken into the emergency operating room. I hadn't been there long when a nurse rushed out. She told me to go pay the surgery fees. I clutched the payment slip. My fingertips were almost white, but I had no money at all. Just then, Bai Luo Yan's voice came from behind. "Ting Ting, go pay the hospital fees." The driver, Yang Ting, immediately stepped forward, took the payment slip from my hand, and went straight to the payment counter. I stared blankly at Bai Luo Yan, my eyes slightly red, and said, "Thank you. I really thank you." Bai Luo Yan's expression didn't change. She just took a clean handkerchief from her bag and held it out to me. "It's nothing." I took the handkerchief. My throat felt like it was blocked by something, very uncomfortable. At this moment, all the grievances pent up inside me exploded because of this stranger's kindness. Bai Luo Yan looked at me, but didn't say a single word of comfort. She just stood quietly beside me. Yang Ting returned very quickly. She first glanced at Bai Luo Yan, then she came over to comfort me. "Don't cry anymore. The fees have been paid. Your grandmother will surely be fine." My tears fell drop by drop, showing no signs of stopping. Seeing this, Bai Luo Yan walked over to Yang Ting. The two whispered a few words, and Yang Ting left with a smile. 10 minutes later, Yang Ting returned with a bag in her hand. She ran back quickly and placed a cup of hot milk tea in my hands, saying, "Drink some milk tea to warm up." I looked at Yang Ting with red eyes, about to thank her, when I heard Yang Ting say, "My boss told me to buy all this." I looked back at Bai Luo Yan and said thank you. I don't know how many times I've said thank you tonight. 2 hours later, the operating room doors finally opened slowly. The doctor walked out. I looked at him nervously and asked, "Doctor, how is my grandmother?" The doctor's face was full of sorrow. "Mr. Jiang, I am sorry. We did our best. My legs went weak, and I almost fell." Yang Ting immediately stepped forward to support me. My tears fell again. The doctor seemed used to this scene and said sympathetically, "The old lady still has a little time left. Go say your goodbyes." Not long after, Grandma was wheeled out. I followed her back to the ward. Bai Luo Yan followed behind. Yang Ting naturally came along too. But neither of them entered the room. They just stood at the door. In the ward, I pressed Grandma's chapped hand to my face. I held her hand tightly, as if I was afraid that if I didn't hold on tight enough, she would leave me the next second. But I knew this was just self-deception. "Grandma." My voice was choked. The old woman on the hospital bed was pale. Hearing my voice, she slowly opened her eyes. After seeing my red-rimmed eyes, a kind smile appeared on her face. She gently stroked my face like she used to. "Why are you crying? Did someone bully Xiao Chen? Tell Grandma. Grandma will get justice for you." My tears were like broken strings of pearls. I couldn't stop them. I sobbed and said, "Grandma, please don't leave me." Her eyes also grew a little moist. She struggled to raise her hand. She gently stroked my head. "Grandma can't stay with you anymore. Grandma, I am begging you, please don't go." Hearing my cries coming from the hospital room, Yang Ting, outside, couldn't help but get red-eyed too. But Bai Luo Yan's expression didn't change. However, her gaze remained fixed on me. "Take the straw for testing." Her voice echoed in the quiet hallway. Yang Ting was stunned for a moment. Then she immediately composed herself and said, "Yes, miss." Yang Ting took the milk tea cup I had just drunk from and left. Bai Luo Yan looked at me in the hospital room, as if whispering. In the room, I held my grandmother's hand tightly. It seemed she had realized something. She let out a sigh. "If you're not happy, then just break up. I just want you to be happy." I burst into tears. I threw myself into her arms and cried for a while. It was Grandma who calmed down first. She gently wiped my tears with her hand. "I don't have much time left. There are a few things I want to tell you." I was crying too hard to speak, but I still tried to hold back my tears. "Go on." "Grandma, I am listening. After I am gone, you have to take good care of yourself. Find someone who loves you. Someone you love is even more important. That's the only way I can rest in peace." I nodded while crying. "I will definitely live a good life. There's a small box under my bed. All my savings are inside. You take it. The thing I regret the least in this life was finding you by the roadside. I am very happy. Thank you, Grandma. If you hadn't taken me in, I wouldn't have survived until now." She gently stroked my face. Her cloudy eyes carefully looked at me again and again, then slowly closed. The hand stroking me also slowly fell away. I froze for a moment, looking at her closed eyes. I was too sad to speak. Tears blurred my vision. I gently rested my head on her. My voice unconsciously softened. "Grandma, I will definitely live a good life. You can rest in peace. Outside the room, Yang Ting walked over hastily. She was about to speak when Bei Luo Yan cut her off. Yang Ting looked into the hospital room and immediately understood what had happened. She immediately stood quietly to the side. Bai Luo Yan looked at me in the hospital room. Ripples formed in her beautiful eyes. I came out and saw the two of them were still there. I couldn't help but be a little surprised. Miss, you haven't left yet? Do you need help with the funeral expenses? Bai Luo Yan's voice interrupted me. I looked at Bai Luo Yan for a while before speaking softly. Could you lend me some more money? I want to give my grandmother a proper send-off. Bai Luo Yan slowly said, okay. Then she took out a business card and handed it to me. I'll be in Shancheng for the next few days. Contact me if you need anything. I took the business card and looked at it. The name suits her well. Thank you. Miss Bai, I will repay the money I owe you. Hearing that, Bai Luo Yan nodded. She said nothing. I received the money and began to arrange the funeral for my grandmother. She had no relatives in this city, so I decided on my own to have her cremated, then find a place with green mountains and clear waters, to find her a piece of land to rest in peace from the crematorium. Receiving her ashes from the staff, I held them tightly in my arms. I whispered softly, Grandma, I am taking you home. I called a taxi and brought the ashes back to the small house I shared with her. But at the doorstep, I met someone unexpected. Shen Xiaowei today was no longer the person I had seen for the past year. Now she was dressed in designer clothes and carrying an expensive LV bag, looking like a true second-generation rich kid. Shen Xiaowei saw me get out of the taxi from a distance, but she didn't notice what I was holding. When she got closer, she finally saw that I was holding an urn. On the urn was clearly a portrait of my grandmother. Shen Xiaowei froze on the spot. After a long moment, she finally spoke, Grandma. I didn't look at her, but walked straight past her into the house. Shen Qiaowei snapped out of it and immediately followed. Her expression was a bit frantic, her face slightly pale. So, I couldn't find you these past few days. Was it because your grandmother passed away? I still said nothing. I took out my key, opened the door, and walked in with the urn. Shen Qiaowei hesitated for a second, then followed me inside. She followed me awkwardly, watching me carefully place my grandmother's urn on the table. The portrait on the urn was facing her. Shen Qiaowei felt guilty and didn't dare to look directly at it. I turned around and looked at Shen Qiaowei with a blank expression. My tone was distant and cold. Miss Shen, is there something you need? Hearing how I addressed her, Shen Qiaowei's heart felt like it had been stabbed. With a panicked look, she reached out to grab my hand, but I bluntly pushed it away. Shen Qiaowei, don't force me to hate you. Jiang Chen. Shen Qiaowei was heartbroken and sad, as if I had done something to wrong her. Shen Qiaowei, don't act like a victim. From beginning to end, the one who was hurt was me, wasn't it? Shen Xiaowei composed herself. She wanted to act cute like before to get me to forgive her, but after seeing my cold gaze, Jiang Chen, I am sorry. With Grandma's passing, you must be heartbroken. I am sorry that when you were at your lowest, I couldn't be by your side. My expression remained unmoved. I watched her quietly. Suddenly, a mocking smile appeared. Shen Xiaowei, you truly disgust me. In my memory, I had never raised my voice at her like this. So, Shen Xiaowei was stunned for a long time. Shen Xiaowei, leave. I never want to see you again. Shen Xiaowei came to her senses and frantically grabbed my wrist. She pleaded humbly, I really know I was wrong. Can you forgive me this one time? I know Grandma's death was a huge blow to you. Shen Xiaowei, do you know why that night I insisted you pay me back? The topic changed too quickly. Shen Xiaowei was a bit slow to react. There was still confusion in her eyes. I emotionlessly shook her hand off, just as decisively as that night. Because you spent my grandmother's life-saving money. If she could have had the surgery a little sooner, maybe she wouldn't have left me. These words were like a bomb, exploding in Shen Xiaowei's heart. Her eyes widened in shock. She looked at me in disbelief. After a long moment, her face crumpled. Jiang Chen, you're lying to me, right? I looked at the self-deceiving Shen Xiaowei and coldly shook my head. Dropping another bomb, Shen Xiaowei, the night you left the bar, you went to a hotel with another man, didn't you? Hearing this, the color drained from Shen Xiaowei's face. Her eyes darted away. It was obvious she was guilty. Actually, on the day my grandmother died, I received a photo. In the photo, Shen Xiaowei was leaning against a man, her neck covered in hickeys, sleeping soundly. At that moment, I was completely disappointed in Shen Xiaowei. When I saw the photo, my heart felt no ripples. Shen Xiaowei knew she had completely lost all hope, but she still didn't want to give up on me. I was the only man who had ever moved her heart. How could she bear to give up? Jiang Chen, I really can't be without you. Can you forgive me this once? Even though Grandma is gone, you still have me. I'll treat you well from now on. I will definitely treat you well. With that, Shen Xiaowei took a few steps forward. Reaching out to hug me, I quickly dodged to the side. I turned to run. But Shen Xiaowei grabbed my wrist with a little force. She threw herself into my arms. After several days of running around, I was exhausted to my limit. For a moment, I couldn't break free from Shen Qiaowei's embrace. Shen Qiaowei looked at my lips, so close to hers. Her eyes filled with infatuation. She slowly stood on her tiptoes, intending to kiss me. I realized Shen Qiaowei's intention. Shen Qiaowei's action paused slightly, then a crazed look filled her eyes. Jiang Chen, I really love you so much. If I just let you have me, you won't leave me, right? I didn't react in time and was pushed to the ground by her. Suddenly, a figure rushed in from the door and pulled Shen Qiaowei, who was on top of me, away with one hand. Before Shen Qiaowei could react, a hard slap landed on her face. I got up from the sofa. I was a bit surprised to see Bai Luoyan suddenly appear. Miss Bai. Bai Luoyan forcefully pushed Shen Qiaowei to the ground. The air around us began to turn cold. Shen Qiaowei looked at the suddenly appeared Bai Luoyan. Then at the familiar way the two of us acted. Immediately, she felt a rush of blood to her head and spoke without thinking. Jiang Chen, so you were in such a hurry to dump me because you found someone new. This woman is richer than me, isn't she? Shen Qiaowei was a second-generation rich kid. Of course, she could tell that Bai Luoyan's clothes were incredibly expensive. I looked at her angrily. Shen Qiaowei, get the hell out. Shen Qiaowei also felt a bit of regret, but words spoken cannot be taken back. She glanced at Bai Luoyan, then back at me, and could only leave unwillingly. Only Bai Luoyan and I were left in the house. Although I had lost all hope for Shen Qiaowei, my heart still felt a little uncomfortable because of her thoughtless words just now. Bai Luoyan held a handkerchief out to me and said softly, "Why is it that every time I see you, you're crying?" I didn't answer, just roughly wiped my tears and said, "It won't happen again. Never cry again." Bai Luoyan gave me a deep look, but said nothing. She just quietly put the handkerchief away. I composed myself and looked towards Bai Luoyan. "Miss Bai, is there something you need me for?" Bai Luoyan didn't say much, just motioned with her eyes towards the door. Yang Ting walked in holding a file. Bai Luoyan took the file and handed it directly to me. I took it doubtfully and opened it. Inside the file was a DNA test report. The test results showed that the two parties had a 99.99% probability of being related by blood. This means that I and the other person tested have a parent-child relationship. I stared blankly at Bai Luoyan. "So you're trying to tell me that I am your long-lost brother?" Bai Luoyan was stunned for a moment. Then the corners of her mouth curved into a beautiful arc. In that instant, I felt as if 1,000 flowers were blooming before my eyes. I never expected this cold and noble girl to be so beautiful when she smiled. But that beauty was just for a moment. Bai Luoyan quickly retracted her smile, but her brow softened slightly. "To be precise, you're the long-lost younger brother of my best friend. My family and yours are old family friends." "I see. I get it. Bai Luoyan and my biological sister are best friends. So she was just helping to find someone. But how did she know that I was her best friend's biological brother?" Bai Luoyan looked at my face. "You look a lot like my aunt when she was young, so I guessed you might be the lost son of my best friend's family." I looked at the file in my hand. For a moment, it was still a bit hard to digest. The news that I had found my birth parents. Seeing my reaction, Bai Luoyan slowly apologized. "As soon as the DNA test results came out, I disclosed the news to your family. They should be on their way now. They'll probably come find you tomorrow." Hearing my birth parents were coming, to say my heart wasn't moved at all would be a lie. Grandma never hid the fact that I was an adopted child. She once said she reported it to the police when she found me, but the police couldn't find any family that had lost a child. There was also no news about my birth parents. After searching for a while, Grandma gave up on helping me find my birth parents and chose to adopt me herself. "I am sorry. I took matters into my own hands." Bai Luoyan's cold voice interrupted my thoughts. I shook my head gently. "It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong." Bai Luoyan continued. "So, do you want to meet them?" I was silent for a moment and gently shook my head. "I don't know. Grandma just passed away. My mind is a bit of a mess." Bai Luoyan nodded. "I know it's difficult to suddenly make you accept all of this. You can take your time to think. They're coming tomorrow anyway." I replied, "Can you give me one night to think about it?" The corners of Bai Luoyan's mouth lifted slightly. "That's your right. Then I won't disturb you any longer." I walked Bai Luoyan to the door. Before she got in the car, I called out to her, "Miss Bai." "Thank you." Bai Luoyan turned and nodded. Then she ducked her head and got into the car. Yang Ting turned and smiled at me, then drove away. I went to the table and picked up my grandmother's urn. I walked towards the bedroom and placed the urn on the headboard. My fingers gently traced the bottom of the box. My eyes lowered, lost in thought. I took out a small box from under the bed. It was an old, iron cookie tin. I carefully wiped the dust off it and gently opened the iron box. There wasn't much inside. A stack of not-so-new cash, neatly wrapped in a handkerchief. A few photos, a red pouch, and an envelope. Seeing these things, my eyes involuntarily welled up. I picked up the photos. It was one of the few pictures of me and my grandmother together. In the photo, Grandma had a kind face, and I was smiling happily. My finger gently traced her face in the photo. A teardrop fell onto the picture. More and more tears fell. I wiped them away and carefully wiped the photo clean before putting it away. I picked up the envelope again. Grandma was illiterate. She probably couldn't write. That's right. Why was there a letter in the box? I slowly opened the envelope. Inside, there was indeed a letter. Grandma had asked someone who could write to pen it for her while she was alive. In the letter, Grandma said she knew she couldn't be with me for too long. She hoped that after she was gone, I could use the things in the red pouch to find my birth parents. Grandma also mentioned in the letter the details of how she found me that year, and the things I had on me then were all kept in the box. After reading the letter, I picked up the red pouch and opened it. Inside the pouch was a longevity lock. It was exquisitely crafted. The longevity lock was on my neck when Grandma found me, and a name was carved on the back. Coincidentally, Grandma's surname was also Jiang, so she named me Jiang Chen. The next day, I made a decision. Since Grandma hoped I would find my birth parents and reunite with them, I would listen to her. Weren't my birth parents coming soon? Then I'll go meet them. But I've also thought it through very clearly. As long as my birth parents show the slightest bit of not wanting me, I won't go back with them. I'd rather live alone than go home with a group of relatives who don't accept me. The next noon, I was just about to go out when someone knocked on my door. I just opened it and saw several people standing outside. Among them was a middle-aged couple whose faces felt very familiar to me, especially the middle-aged mother, who looked a bit like me. As soon as she saw me, she stepped forward and hugged me tightly. Mom finally found you. My body stiffened for a moment, unconsciously rejecting physical contact with a stranger. But Mother Jiang's crying in my ear moved me a little. I intended to push her hands away, but I hesitated and didn't act. Mother Jiang cried more and more heartbrokenly. Her hot tears wet my shoulder. I hesitantly raised my hand and gently patted Mother Jiang's back. Don't cry anymore. That one sentence made Mother Jiang cry even louder. Father Jiang beside her also had red eyes, but he was a bit more restrained than Mother Jiang. Sensing my discomfort, Father Jiang took a step forward and pulled Mother Jiang into his all right. You're scaring our precious son. Hearing that, Mother Jiang immediately wiped her tears. Right. We can't scare our son. Only then did I remember to invite everyone inside. Then I went to the kitchen to boil some water. Father Jiang and the others stepped into the small house, looking at the simple surroundings. Mother Jiang's tears fell again. The small house, though old, was kept clean. It was clear that her son didn't have to suffer these hardships. In the hearts of the Jiang family, they almost all thought the same thing at the same time. This time, the entire Jiang family came. Father Jiang, Mother Jiang, and their 2 children were all here. Hearing that their long-lost younger brother had been found, my biological brother, Jiang Yang, and my biological sister, Jiang Wanru, both put aside their work and followed their parents to Beicheng. Just now, when the door opened, the 2 siblings saw my face and could confirm that the young man before them was indeed the long-lost treasure of the Jiang family, because my face and Mother Jiang's, when she was young, were just too similar. Plus, with the DNA test report from Bei Luoyan, the matter was already settled. Now, seeing the place where their younger brother had lived for so many years, the 2 siblings started to feel sorry for this lost and found younger brother. In the kitchen, I stared blankly at the kettle for a long time. Although I had mentally prepared to meet my biological parents, when they were actually standing in front of me, I felt a sense of unease and anxiety. My house doesn't usually have many guests, so I don't have a full tea set. I rummaged through the cabinet to find a few cups. After making tea, I went out. Mother Jiang saw me come out and hurried over. Jiang Yang was very perceptive. He stepped forward to take the tray from my hands. Let me. Meanwhile, Mother Jiang pulled me down to sit on the only small sofa in the house. The others very consciously found their own chairs to sit on. There was no look of disgust for the shabbiness of the place on anyone's face. Instead, their eyes were full of heartache. I awkwardly touched my nose. I am sorry, my house is very small. Mother Jiang saw my polite and distant manner towards her and couldn't help but get red eyes again. It's Mom's fault for not taking good care of you, letting you suffer so much hardship. I saw that Mother Jiang was about to cry again, and I felt a bit sad. It must be the deep bond between mother and child. I reached out and gently patted Mother Jiang's back. Mom, don't cry anymore. That one word, Mom, made Mother Jiang forget to cry. She looked at me with a joyful expression. Jiang Chen, you're willing to call me Mom. The surrounding Jiang family members were also very happy. Father Jiang didn't care about anything else either. He sat down next to me, pointing to himself. I am Dad. Looking at Father Jiang's expectant eyes, I couldn't bear to disappoint him in the end, so I also called out, Dad. Father Jiang was a big man, and hearing me call him Dad, his eyes reddened. He turned his face away to wipe his moist eyes. Jiang Yang smiled elegantly at me. I am your older brother. Jiang Wanru also smiled gently. I am your older sister. I looked at my brother and sister, who were so kind to me, and a sincere smile appeared on my face. Mother Jiang saw how quickly I accepted them, and joyfully wanted to pull me into her arms, but as if she suddenly thought of something, she hesitated. Seeing this, I took the initiative to hug Mother Jiang. Her tears were like a flood as she held me and sobbed. Looking at Jiang beside us, he was also crying directly. Jiang Wanru blinked as she saw this scene. She turned her head and saw that from beginning to end, Bai Luoyan was standing silently by the side. She was also silently looking at me on the sofa. Although her expression was very faint, you could see that she was emotional for her best friend, Jiang Wanru, who had found her lost younger brother, Luoyan. Thank you so much this time, Jiang Wanru said sincerely. Bai Luoyan withdrew her gaze and suddenly patted her on the shoulder twice. After crying for a while, Mother Jiang held my hand tightly, asking in detail about my life over the past 20-something years. I didn't hide anything. I told her how I was found by my grandmother and then raised by her with great difficulty. I only spoke of the good times, not the sad ones, recounting my life with my grandmother over the years in a light-hearted way. But in reality, even if I didn't say it, the Jiang family knew that for all those years, my grandmother and I depended on each other, and life certainly wasn't easy. Fearing that I wouldn't be able to accept my identity right away, they didn't bring it up further. The Jiang family was still very grateful to Grandma Jiang for finding me. She was the one who gave me a new life. And she raised me very well, Father Jiang said emotionally. We really owe the old lady so much. I thought of my grandmother, and my heart started to ache again. Seeing this, Mother Jiang patted my back. Don't be sad. We will find her the best burial plot. Hearing that, I was a little pleasantly surprised. Really? Mother Jiang nodded and continued speaking. Come back to the capital with Mom, Dad, your brother, and your sister. Okay? I had already prepared to leave with my biological parents. Now that I knew they wanted me to come home so much, I no longer refused to leave with the Jiang family, because this place no longer had any people or things for me to hold on to. Yes, go home with you all. Hearing me agree to go with them, the Jiang family was undoubtedly the happiest. Jiang Wanru immediately took out her phone and started making arrangements. Mother Jiang and Jiang Yiyang helped me pack my few belongings. While we were packing, my phone kept ringing. I just glanced at it and then quietly put my phone on silent. I planned to change my current phone number before leaving this place, as a final farewell to the people and events here. An hour later, I took my grandmother's ashes and my few belongings, into the Maybach to go to the airport. Just as I and the Jiang family left, Shen Qiaowei arrived at the door. As soon as she got out of the car, Shen Qiaowei knocked on my door, but no matter how she knocked, no one opened it. Jiang Chen, it's me. Open the door. Can we talk properly? Jiang Chen. I really know I was wrong. Can you please not ignore me? I don't want to break up. Shen Qiaowei said to herself at the door, but the house remained silent. Song Jinian also arrived soon after. Seeing Shen Qiaowei's unchanging, love-struck appearance, he lightly bit his lip. In his heart, he was clearly jealous of me to the point of madness, but on his face, he still had to maintain that kind and generous look. A clap of thunder sounded in the sky, and heavy rain poured down instantly. Shen Qiaowei was soaked to the bone. Seeing this, Song Jinian took an umbrella from the driver's hand and held it over Shen Qiaowei's head. Qiaowei, it's raining. Let's get in the car and take shelter first. I don't need you to care about me. Today, I must get Jiang Chen's forgiveness. Song Jinian lowered his eyes. Shen Qiaowei, Shen Qiaowei turned her head and glared at him. Don't you get it? If it weren't for you, Jiang Chen wouldn't have left me. It's all because of you. All because of you. But Shen Qiaowei, I am already your fiancé. We are the ones who are getting married. Shen Qiaowei suddenly seemed to be triggered by something. She turned around, her eyes bloodshot, and stared at Song Jinian. I will never marry you. Song Jinian was frightened by Shen Qiaowei's current appearance. He suddenly threw the umbrella in his hand away and stepped forward to hug Shen Qiaowei. On the other side, after the car arrived at the airport, I threw my old phone, along with the SIM card inside, into a trash can at the airport. Without looking back, I took my grandmother's ashes and boarded the flight to the capital with the Jiang family. This was my first time on a plane, and everything felt new. Seeing my reaction, the Jiang family felt heartbroken again. Their precious child had never traveled far, nor had he ever been on a plane. No, we have to treat him better. I didn't know what the Jiang family was thinking. I just sat quietly in my seat. The Bai family and the Jiang family are both wealthy families, so they naturally travel in first class. If it were before, I wouldn't even dare to think about it. My 20 years of frugal living made me unconsciously a bit restrained. In contrast, the Jiang family and Bai Luoyan seemed very calm, as if they had long been accustomed to such treatment. I pursed my lips. This made me feel like they were not the same in a very real way. Jiang Wanru is a girl, and she noticed my somewhat stiff state. She immediately realized that I was probably not used to it, so Jiang Wanru got up and sat down next to me. Xiao Chen, are you not used to it? I didn't expect Jiang Wanru to notice my abnormality. I hesitated for a moment, but still nodded. I am indeed a little unused to it. Did I embarrass everyone? Jiang Wanru smiled gently and held my hands tightly. Not at all. Don't feel embarrassed. Our Jiang Chen is great. It's just that you're not used to it yet. Take it slow. You'll get used to it later. It'll teach you. I looked at the gentle Jiang Wanru. My heart warmed. So this is what it feels like to have an older sister. Jiang Wanru's heart softened. So this is what it feels like to have a younger brother. A few hours later, the plane landed safely at the Jingcheng airport. I naturally followed the VIP exit with the Jiang family. It was already evening when we arrived in Jingcheng. I curiously looked at the completely unfamiliar city before me, but I wasn't nervous at all. This is the place where I was supposed to grow up. Outside the airport's VIP exit, several luxury cars were already waiting. A middle-aged man who looked like a butler, upon seeing the Jiang family, immediately smiled and came forward to greet them. Master, madam, eldest young master, young miss, second young master. This was the first time I was called second young master. The feeling was quite novel, but I still smiled politely at the butler. The butler was stunned. He clearly didn't expect the newly found second young master to be such a polite person. As expected, the Jiang family's genes are truly strong. Even though the second young master was lost for so many years, the excellent genes, etched deep in his bones, would not change. The space inside the luxury car was large enough, but no one in the Jiang family wanted to ride in a separate car, so they all squeezed into one car. Bai Luoyan also consciously got into the Jiang family's car. There were clearly many empty cars. Since meeting the Jiang family in the morning, I hadn't had a chance to talk to Bai Luoyan. At this moment, Bai Luoyan was sitting opposite me. I smiled and said, Miss Bai, thank you. This thank you carried a lot of meaning. Thanking Bai Luoyan for helping my grandmother. Thanking Bai Luoyan for helping me find my family. To gather enough money for grandma's surgery, I had borrowed quite a bit of money from neighbors. Before leaving Beicheng, I originally intended to go to each house to pay back the money. But my biological brother, Jiang, told me that all those debts had been paid off. To thank those people for their help, the Jiang family even gave some thank you gifts. When I found out about this, I once again felt how much the Jiang family valued me. I looked up at Bai Luoyan. It was still that cold, noble face, but I saw a hint of gentleness. No need to be polite. It's what I should do. I felt my heart beat 2 beats faster. I shyly lowered my head, not daring to look at Bai Luoyan anymore. Seeing this, Mother Jiang, who was beside me, exchanged a look with Father Jiang. They understood the meaning in each other's eyes. The two looked at each other and smiled, looking at me and Bai Luoyan with even more gentle and loving eyes. Jiang Wanru watched the interaction between her best friend and her younger brother and silently smiled. I don't know how long we had been driving, but the scenery outside the car gradually became more remote. The busy streets were gradually replaced by forests. I doubtfully turned my head to look at Jiang Wanru. Jiang Wanru smiled, patted my head, and said, From here on, this mountain is all the property of the Bai family. The old houses of the Jiang and Bai families are both built on it. I opened my mouth in surprise. Although I knew the Bai and Jiang families had money, owning an entire mountain seemed a bit much. But in reality, this was just the tip of the iceberg. Being a top-tier family wasn't just empty words. The car drove up the mountain for another half an hour. From a distance, I saw a tall, large iron gate. As the car approached, the iron gate slowly opened. 2 luxurious villas appeared before my eyes. To be precise, they were 2 courtyards. Luxurious Chinese-style courtyards stood side by side. Small bridges over flowing water, rockeries arranged closely together. After getting out of the car, I looked at the exquisite architecture in front of me and was completely stunned. Mother Jiang held my hand and smiled gently. Jiang Chen, this is your home. The one on the left is the Bai family's old house. The one on the right is our Jiang family's old house. I looked at the 2 nearly identical houses and silently marveled that the Bai and Jiang families were indeed friends for generations. Living so close was one thing, but even their old houses were identical. Suddenly, a few people ran out from the house on the left. The person in the lead was a gentle and elegant old lady. The Bai family's grandmother was wearing a red cheongsam. She hurried towards us. Behind her was a couple, middle-aged, and a few maids. Slow down. If I am any later, I won't get to see my grandson-in-law. I was confused. My brother? Jiang Yang? My gaze fell on Bai Luoyan and Jiang Yang beside her. The 2 of them looked really good together. Noticing his younger brother's gaze, Jiang Yang immediately took a few steps to the side, distancing himself from Bai Luoyan. I was wondering, when I saw the Bai family's grandmother run straight up to me. She looked me up and down again and again. My grandson-in-law is so handsome. My head was full of question marks. So the grandson-in-law the old lady mentioned was me? I thought since she's an elder, it wouldn't be wrong to greet her proactively. Grandma. Unexpectedly, as soon as the word grandma left my lips, the Bai family's grandmother's eyes lit up. She boasted to everyone. My grandson-in-law called me grandma. At this moment, the Bai couple caught up. Hearing what the Bai family's grandmother said, they shook their heads helplessly. I was a bit stunned by this scene. What is the situation now? Do I have an arranged marriage from childhood? The Bai family's grandmother was about to say something else when Bai Luoyan suddenly spoke slowly. Grandma Jiang Chen just got back. Don't scare him. The Bai family's grandmother looked at her granddaughter, then at her grandson-in-law. Bai Luoyan turned and said to the Jiang couple, Uncle Jiang, Auntie Jiang, it'll take my grandma and parents back first. Okay. Okay, you've had a hard time these past 2 days. Let's have a meal together in a few days. After saying that, Bai Luoyan turned and supported her grandmother's arm, leaving with the Bai couple. Poor Mr. and Mrs. Bai didn't even have a chance to say a word to their son-in-law before being forced away by their daughter. Mother Jiang led me by the hand towards the house on the right. From a distance, I saw 2 rows of people standing at the main gate. As soon as we got close, the 2 rows of people said in unison, "Welcome home, young master." I was startled by this scene. After recovering, I felt a little emotional. Until this moment, I finally had a real feeling of being home. Father Jiang and Mother Jiang each took one of my hands and walked into the house. Jiang, Yang, and Jiang Wanru followed and also entered the house behind us. The butler had already prepared a late-night meal, just waiting for the Jiang family to return. I stepped into the Jiang house. Everything around me was very unfamiliar, but everywhere exuded a sense of luxury. As expected, the life of the rich is truly different. Even the dining table was especially large. Although she didn't intentionally investigate, Mother Jiang still asked about my preferences beforehand, ensuring that the late-night meal prepared by the maids were all dishes I liked. After eating, Mother Jiang excitedly pulled me to my room. The Jiang couple's room was on the second floor, while the rooms of the 3 Jiang siblings were arranged on the third floor. Among them, my room was the one with the best lighting on the third floor. Mother Jiang pushed open the door. After I clearly saw the room's layout, my eyes were filled with sparkling light. "Jiang Chen, I didn't know your preferences, so for your room, I took the liberty of arranging it for you. If there's anything you're not satisfied with, just say so. I'll have someone change it right away. I don't have any special requirements for my living environment. Compared to the small house I grew up in, this place is just too comfortable. Not to mention, the room also has such a large floor-to-ceiling window. Stepping outside, you can take in the entire beautiful mountain scenery. Mom, there's no need to change anything. I like it very much. This place is much better than where I lived before." Hearing this, Mother Jiang's eyes reddened again. It felt like ever since she met me, Mother Jiang had been shedding tears. I felt a little heartbroken and took Mother Jiang's hand. "I am not very good at comforting people. Mom, don't be sad. I am back by your side now." "Mother," Jiang stopped crying and smiled. She wiped her tears. My Jiang Chen is right. You're back. You're back by my side, Jiang Chen. From now on, Mom will treat you doubly well." The mother and son talked for a while longer before Mother Jiang reluctantly left. After Mother Jiang left, I looked at the completely unfamiliar environment and decided to take a simple tour of my new room. My new room was very large, even larger than the small house I shared with my grandmother. Taking a walk around, the level of luxury here was truly beyond my imagination. Then I explored the other places in the room and discovered that the room was connected to an adjacent room. It was a study, decorated in a classical style, making me feel as if I had time traveled. In the study, there were 2 rows of very tall and large bookshelves, filled with all kinds of books. The study also had a floor-to-ceiling window. Pushing it open revealed a long, suspended corridor. The end of the long corridor also connected to a room. I was really curious, so I tiptoed along the long corridor. Standing in front of the identical door, the floor-to-ceiling window of the study, I peeked inside. It was pitch black inside with no light. I hesitated for a moment. I pushed it lightly and found that the door was unlocked. I gently turned the handle and opened the door. At the same time, someone opened the door from the other end of the room. The lights turned on. Bai Luoyan and I, wearing bathrobes, stared at each other. Clearly, we had both just finished showering. We were both stunned. Then my eyes unconsciously fell upon the fair chest of Bai Luoyan, which was exposed to the air. After a moment of surprise, Bai Luoyan regained her composure. Seeing me staring at her chest, the corner of her mouth lifted slightly. "Is it beautiful?" Sorry. I slammed Bai Luoyan's study door shut. I frantically ran back along the long corridor to my own study and slammed the study door shut. I leaned against the door, panting, but in my mind, the image of Bai Luoyan in her bathrobe kept replaying, along with her fair skin. My cheeks burned. I used my hand to fan myself continuously, trying to reduce the heat on my face, but the image of Bai Luoyan kept lingering in my mind, refusing to fade, making it impossible for me to calm down. The study in my room is connected to Bai Luoyan's study next door. Are our rooms that close to each other? I felt like I couldn't keep thinking about it, or I would really boil over. So I found my clothes in the dressing room and went straight to the bathroom. After coming out, I carefully lay down on the large bed in the room. The bedding had probably just been washed and dried. It not only smelled fresh but also had the scent of sunshine. At first, I thought that being in an unfamiliar environment, I would definitely be sleepless until morning. But I don't know if it was because I was too tired or because this bed was too comfortable, but I fell fast asleep not long after lying down. In my dream, I saw my grandmother. She stood not far away, looking at me kindly. I hurried towards her and threw myself into her arms. "Grandma, I miss you so much." She kindly patted my back. "Good boy. This way, I can leave in peace." Hearing her say she wanted to leave, I couldn't help but hug her tighter. After a long while, I reluctantly let go. I gave her a bright smile. Grandma, you must be happy in your next life. She nodded. Her figure gradually turned into specks of light and disappeared before my eyes. I reached out, wanting to grasp something, but in the end, I caught nothing. Early the next morning, the maids heard a clattering sound. The maids looked at each other and quickly went to the kitchen to see. They saw only the second young master who had just returned home yesterday, now wearing an apron and cooking. Hearing the noise, I turned my head and smiled at the maids. The maids were stunned on the spot. After recovering, they immediately went forward and snatched the spatula from my hand. Second young master, why are you up so early? Yes, just leave these things to us. Second young master, if the master and madam find out, we'll be in big trouble. I immediately interrupted them, smiling and saying, I'll talk to my parents about it. I woke up early, so I just made some breakfast. The maids looked at each other again. Second young master, if you take our jobs, what will we do? Before, I only thought about personally cooking breakfast for the Jiang family, but I didn't think about this issue. I smiled apologetically at them. I am sorry. I just wanted to personally make breakfast for my parents. Today is the last time. From now on, I'll still let you all do it. The maids immediately breathed a sigh of relief. I really felt a bit embarrassed. It seems I almost stole someone else's livelihood. After Mother Jiang woke up, the first thing she did was come to my room. But after knocking for a long time, there was no sound inside. She thought I wasn't awake yet. As a result, she, Father Jiang, and my siblings, the Jiang siblings, just came downstairs and saw me bringing out breakfast. I heard footsteps and looked up and saw the 4 members of the Jiang family standing there, stunned. A bright smile appeared on my face. Mom, Dad, brother, sister, I've made breakfast. Come and eat. The 4 Jiang family members came to their senses and quickly came downstairs, standing by the dining table. There was both Chinese and Western-style breakfast. Jiang Wanru blinked her eyes at me. Jiang Chen, did you make all of this? I nodded shyly, but had no intention of taking credit. I woke up early, so I just made a little something. Everyone, try it and see if you like it. Whether they liked it or not, the Jiang family would definitely finish the breakfast. Mother Jiang held my hand with a pained heart. My dear, you woke up early to make breakfast. I nodded. Suddenly, as if I thought of something, I quickly said, I just couldn't sleep in the morning, so I got up to make breakfast. From now on, just let the maids handle these things. I can sleep in a little more. Father Jiang and Mother Jiang knew I was worried. They would blame the maids for not being diligent. When Mother Jiang heard that, she also couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. The way of living together still needs to be slowly harmonized. Father Jiang reached out and hugged both mother and child, pushing us to sit down at the dining table. Let's hurry and taste our son's cooking. It won't be good if it gets cold. Mother Jiang nodded with a smile. All right, I'll have a taste. I made this breakfast on the table with my own hands. Even if it's not delicious, they would eat it all. Besides, my cooking skills really aren't bad. The breakfast was simple, but the flavor was no worse than the chefs at home. Moreover, when I was making breakfast earlier, I had intentionally asked the auntie in the house about the Jiang family's tastes, and then made it according to their preferences, to make a special breakfast for everyone. After the 4 members of the Jiang family tasted the breakfast before them, everyone showed a satisfied expression. Father Jiang praised it as delicious while eating. Our Jiang Shen's cooking skills are really good, on par with the chef at home. Mother Jiang chimed in. It's really delicious. Older brother had a look of surprise. Little brother, have you learned this before? Seeing my family eating happily, I also felt very happy inside. During my high school summer break, I used to work part-time at a breakfast diner. The breakfast at that diner was delicious. Every day before dawn, there was already a long line. When I spoke of this, my tone was very calm, with no intention of playing the victim, but to the ears of the Jiang family, it didn't sound like that at all. Their little brother had to work during his high school summer break, going out to work for money before dawn. Jiang Yang and Jiang Wanru recalled their own high school summer breaks were either spent traveling or at home, occasionally going out to eat and shop with friends. With such a comparison, Jiang Yang and Jiang Wanru suddenly felt a bit ashamed. Even more ashamed were Father Jiang and Mother Jiang. It was their negligence that caused them to lose their young son, making him suffer so many hardships. Father Jiang and Jiang Yang were truly father and son. I saw both of them simultaneously take out a black card from their pockets and shove them straight into my hands. Son, take it. Buy whatever you want. Just spend freely. My older brother beside me also took out a black card. Little brother, take it. Buy whatever you want. Just spend freely. I stared blankly at the 2 black cards in my hand. It took me a long time to come to my senses. Jiang Wanru reacted a bit slower and was about to take a card out of her bag, but I quickly stopped her. Sister, don't take it out. Jiang Wanru pouted, looking a little wronged, annoyed at herself for not reacting. As fast as her father and older brother, I pushed the 2 black cards back towards them. You all can take these cards back. In that moment, the expressions of everyone in the Jiang family looked a bit hurt. They wanted to make it up to their son, but they didn't know what I liked, so they thought of just giving me money directly. so I could buy whatever I liked. After all, the one thing the Jiang family didn't lack was money. Even if I spent lavishly, they could afford it. But I refused to accept their black cards. This made my father and older brother a little heartbroken. Mother Jiang saw what her husband and son were thinking. She took the 2 black cards and placed them back in front of me. Your father and older brother just want to make it up to you. Just accept it with peace of mind. I looked at Mother Jiang, then at my father and older brother with their hurt expressions, and finally took the 2 cards. It's not like I have many places to spend money anyway. They're just 2 cards. If I have to accept them, I will. Just then, a few figures walked in through the main door. It was the 4 members of the Bai family. Actually, the Bai family has another daughter, but she is currently studying abroad and couldn't come back. Grandma Bai hadn't even arrived, but her voice already had. Grandson-in-law, Grandma is here to see you. Everyone in the Jiang family stood up to welcome them. Grandma Bai saw the table full of breakfast and asked doubtfully, Little Jiang, did your family change breakfast chefs? Father Jiang looked at me with a proud expression. It was Jiang Shen who woke up early to make it. Grandma Bai, have some. As soon as the Bai family's matriarch heard her grandson-in-law made it, she immediately sat down at the table, picked up her chopsticks, and started eating. Seeing this, I spoke up. Grandma Bai, please wait a moment. The Bai family matriarch's chopsticks stopped midair. I was seen running quickly into the kitchen and bringing out a few other, lighter dishes, placing the breakfast in front of her. Seeing everyone's eyes on me, I felt a bit shy. I heard Grandma Bai might be coming, so I specially made these lighter dishes for you. It's better for the elderly to eat something light in the morning. Everyone from the Bai and Jiang families knew that the Bai family matriarch had a preference for strong flavors and hated light-tasting dishes the most. Bai Luo Yan was about to speak when she saw Grandma Bai cheerfully pick up and eat those light breakfast dishes. On her face, there wasn't the slightest hint of dislike or reluctance. This time, everyone was a little surprised. The Bai family matriarch ate while smiling at me. My grandson-in-law is still the one who cares for me most. The Bai couple looked at each other helplessly. How could they not care for the Bai family matriarch? Hadn't they advised her before to eat lighter meals? But had Grandma Bai ever listened? As a result, I just said that, and Grandma Bai ate it happily. Indeed, people are treated differently by different people. Father Jiang smiled and invited the Bai family to sit down. Actually, I had also prepared a separate breakfast for the other 3. With one meal, I had directly won the affection of the Bai family. When I brought the breakfast to Bai Luo Yan, I suddenly remembered last night's awkward incident. My cheeks immediately flushed red, but Bai Luo Yan acted as if nothing had happened. Looking at the breakfast in front of her, and that cup of black coffee, a small glint appeared in her deep eyes. Thank you. Her clear and pleasant voice rang in my ear. My heart skipped a beat. You're welcome. Everyone saw the interaction between the 2 of us and exchanged a knowing glance. At the dining table, the 2 families were cheerful and harmonious. The conversation was very pleasant. I am not a very outgoing person, so I just listened quietly on the side. After the meal, a clear voice suddenly sounded beside me. Want to go for a walk outside? As soon as I looked up, Bai Luo Yan was already standing beside me, just looking at me quietly. Hearing this, Mother Jiang and Mother Bai smiled and looked at the 2 of us. A walk would be nice. Seeing both mothers say so, I felt that if I refused now, Bai Luo Yan's offer, it wouldn't be very appropriate. So I stood up and followed her out of the living room. Mother Jiang and Mother Bai looked at the 2 of them and smiled with satisfaction at the same time. Mother Bai chuckled. It seems the 2 kids don't dislike each other. Mother Jiang also had an excited expression. It would be great if they really hit it off. In the courtyard, I looked at the meticulously cared for flower beds and felt that walking in such an environment improved my mood quite a bit. Bai Luo Yan didn't say much. Walking side by side with me on the gravel path in the Jiang family's courtyard, I felt that just walking like this without saying anything, so I wondered what topic we should talk about. But Bai Luo Yan and I weren't close, and I didn't know what I could talk to her about. Suddenly, Bai Luo Yan spoke. Jiang Shen. Such an intimate form of address made me a little unaccustomed, but Bai Luo Yan seemed very casual. She lightly parted her red lips. You know our families have been friends for generations, right? I nodded. I know that. Right after, I heard Bai Luo Yan say, then do you know that since you were born, you've had a childhood betrothal to me? I turned my head in astonishment to look at Bai Luo Yan, blinking blankly a few times. I really couldn't react for a moment. I really didn't know about this. Whether it was my parents or my older brother and sister, none of them had ever told me this. They probably just hadn't gotten around to telling me. But seeing Grandma Bai's attitude yesterday, and how she kept calling me grandson-in-law, I had actually guessed a little. It's just that I had always been ignoring this speculation before. Now that Bai Luo Yan brought it up so frankly, I felt I couldn't continue to play dumb. Arranging childhood betrothals among wealthy families is a very normal thing. The elders of both families know each other and have a very close relationship. Wanting their children to become even closer is also a very normal thought. Bai Luo Yan stopped, turned her head, and leaned slightly close to my face, the corners of her mouth slightly raised. So what are your thoughts? Bai Luo Yan's sudden closeness made me a bit flustered. I instinctively wanted to step back, but my legs wouldn't obey. Seeing Bai Luoyan staring at me, I felt a bit shy. I awkwardly averted my gaze. I haven't thought it through yet. Bai Luoyan straightened up, her tone somewhat relaxed, not rejecting it outright. I was stunned. Then my cheeks felt a bit hot. I felt that what Bai Luoyan just said was a bit ambiguous. Moreover, Bai Luoyan's words could make people misunderstand that she likes me. I tried to calm my mood and looked up at Bai Luoyan. What about you? What are your thoughts on this betrothal? I didn't feel like I was the type of person who could make Bai Luoyan fall for me at first sight. When the elders of both sides arranged the betrothal, they didn't ask for Bai Luoyan's and my opinion. Maybe Bai Luoyan was very against this betrothal. Bai Luoyan didn't think for long. Her tone still as gentle as before. I don't dislike it, so that means you like it, right? I felt my heart start to beat a little faster. Even the air around us, because of Bai Luoyan's recent words, seemed to be filled with pink bubbles. It felt like Bai Luoyan was saying she liked me. I tried to calm my fluttering heart. So, do you accept the betrothal arranged by the elders? Bai Luoyan glanced at me and suddenly reached out to pull my arm, saying, I can wait for you to agree. I froze, looking up at her face. Bai Luoyan's stunningly beautiful face. I stared and stared. I unconsciously became entranced. Bai Luoyan saw my love-struck expression, and the corners of her mouth curved up slightly. It seems you're very satisfied with this face of mine. Coming back to my senses, I needed to calm down a bit. Then I suddenly remembered my ex-girlfriend. After thinking for a long time, I slowly spoke. Bai Luoyan, there's something I have to be honest with you about. Bai Luoyan seemed to know what I was going to say. Her red lips pursed slightly. You want to tell me about you and your ex-girlfriend? I was stunned, then nodded honestly. Bai Luoyan looked straight into my eyes and asked, how far did you two go? I didn't expect Bai Luoyan to be so direct. I was stunned for a few seconds before I recovered. We only dated for a year. We held hands and hugged, but we never kissed. She and I have already broken up. It's completely over. I won't look back in the future. Hearing that, the corners of Bai Luoyan's mouth curved up slightly. She seemed to be in a very good mood. She reached out and gently placed her hand on my shoulder, her tone light but incredibly gentle. Can I kiss you? I thought I might be having an auditory hallucination. What did you just say? Bai Luoyan patiently repeated herself. So, can I kiss you? I stared at her, stunned, my mind a complete mess. Seeing me stand there frozen, she tilted her head up slightly and moved closer to me. I watched her face get closer and closer. Swallowing nervously, Bai Luoyan stopped 5 centimeters away from me and chuckled softly. Jiang Shen, you should close your eyes now. I obediently listened and closed my eyes. Without my sight, my other senses became sharper. I could clearly feel a pure, rich fragrance wafting past my nose. It was Bai Luoyan's scent. Feeling Bai Luoyan getting closer and closer, I tensed up and furrowed my brows slightly. Bai Luoyan took in my small action and sighed inwardly. Her warm, gentle lips placed a kiss on my cheek. Having my cheek kissed, I opened my eyes in surprise. Bai Luoyan smiled gently. I don't want to scare you too soon. After saying that, she let go of my shoulder, increasing the ambiguous distance between us. I immediately felt the scent fade significantly. For some reason, I felt a little disappointed. Bai Luoyan didn't miss the fleeting look of disappointment in my eyes. She quietly composed her expression. Let's go. I'll show you around a bit. After that, neither I nor Bai Luoyan mentioned the kiss in the courtyard just now. After walking for a while longer, I couldn't help but think of my late grandmother again. Bai Luoyan saw that my mood had dropped a little, so she naturally changed the subject. I've helped find a place with very good feng shui for Grandma Jiang. Tomorrow is an auspicious day. Do you want to see her off on her final journey? I nodded hastily. I brought my grandmother's ashes thousands of miles to Jingcheng, choosing to let her rest here. Of course, I have to see her off on her final journey. I was just a little surprised that the task of finding a burial place fell to Bai Luoyan. Luoyan, haven't you been busy these past few days? In my impression, the richer people are, the busier they are. Such a large company. So many businesses to manage. They must be swamped every day. But looking at her now, Bai Luoyan didn't seem at all like the CEO of a large corporation. Bai Luoyan also didn't intentionally explain her work matters. It's fine. I am the boss. I can be lazy. I looked at Bai Luoyan in surprise. I used to think she was cold, but I didn't expect her to know how to joke. In the evening, I had just finished showering and came out of the bathroom when there was a knock on my door. I went to open it and saw my mother standing there. Mom, please come in. Mom came in, pulled me to sit on the sofa beside her, and held my hand. My dear son, is there anything you're not used to since coming home? If there's anything, you must tell me. I nodded. There's nothing I am not used to. The food is good, and the living conditions are great. After chatting for a while, Mom finally got to the main purpose of this conversation. Jiang Shen. Actually, before you were born, your grandmother and Grandma Bai next door arranged a betrothal for you and Luoyan. Before We were afraid you wouldn't be able to accept it right away, so we haven't told you. But I see that you and that girl get along very well, so. My cheeks turned slightly red, but I always had a question in my heart. Why wasn't the betrothal for my older brother? He was born before me. Mother Jiang smiled. Actually, at first, the elders of both families did want to arrange a betrothal for Luo Yan and Jiang Yang, but the two of them didn't like each other. It just so happened that I was pregnant with you at the time, so the betrothal was arranged for you and Luo Yan. But whether you two can be together or not still depends on your and Luo Yan's wishes. So, Jiang Shen, what are your thoughts? Mom also wanted to know my thoughts. She felt she had wronged this son too much. If I clearly said I didn't like Bai Luo Yan, they wouldn't force me to marry Bai Luo Yan. I suddenly remembered what happened in the courtyard during the day. I don't dislike it. Hearing that, Mom quickly spoke up. Jiang Shen, you're not rejecting it outright, which means there's still a possibility, right? I nodded. During the day in the courtyard, I didn't outright reject Bai Luo Yan, so tonight, I wouldn't reject it in front of Mother Jiang either. Besides, I felt that I had a good impression of Bai Luo Yan. This feeling was different from when I liked Shen Qiaowei. It seemed more natural. It's just that I just broke up with Shen Qiaowei. Although I've completely lost hope in her, my heart isn't completely empty yet. Being with Bai Luo Yan right now would be unfair to her. Mom, I don't intend to be in a relationship for the time. Hearing that, Mom was stunned, then looked at me with a puzzled expression. Jiang Shen, I can see that you have a good impression of Bai Luo Yan. I hesitated for a moment, but still recounted the story of me and Shen Qiaowei. After Mom learned what Shen Qiaowei had done, she was so shocked she couldn't speak for a long time and hugged me with heartache. If only we could have found you a few days earlier, then you wouldn't have had to go through such a terrible thing. My poor son, you've been wronged. After that, Mom talked with me for a while longer before returning to her room. The next day, I still woke up early in the morning. Today, I had arranged with Bai Luo Yan to take my grandmother's ashes to the cemetery, so I woke up very early on purpose. I wasn't sure when Bai Luo Yan would arrive, so I just waited in the living room. I originally planned to contact Bai Luo Yan by phone, but then I remembered that I had thrown away my old phone and SIM card in a trash can at the Beijing airport. I still hadn't bought a new phone and SIM card. No wonder it had felt unusually quiet these past 2 days. Bai Luo Yan also arrived very early. When she came, she was carrying a bag. I was a little puzzled when I saw the bag. Then I saw Bai Luo Yan hold the bag straight out in front of me. I pointed to myself. For me? Bai Luo Yan smiled and nodded. Yes, a gift for you. Hurry and open it. See if you like it. I curiously took a box out of the bag. Inside the box was the latest model of a phone. Bai Luo Yan had even prepared a new SIM card. For me as well. I looked at the phone with a pleasant surprise. Just now, I was thinking about buying a new phone, and it turned out Bai Luo Yan had already bought one for me. I fiddled with the latest model phone in my hand, a smile on my face. Yeah, I like it. I was just about to buy a new phone. After saying that, I put the new phone in my pocket and left with the urn of my grandmother's ashes and Bai Luo Yan. At this time, the 4 members of the Jiang family were not awake yet, so I informed the butler at home that Bai Luo Yan and I were going out, and asked the butler to tell my parents my whereabouts after they woke up. Seeing me with Bai Luo Yan, the butler was very relieved to see his young master leave. Lingshan Cemetery. The car stopped steadily at the cemetery gate. I got out of the car holding the urn. With Bai Luo Yan walking beside me, we followed the staff to the burial plot. The staff helped place the urn inside the grave. Bai Luo Yan and I stood aside, watching silently. The rims of my eyes were a little red, but I didn't cry. Grandma wouldn't want to see me crying all the time. I spoke for a while in front of her grave, then left with Bai Luo Yan. After interring my grandmother's ashes at the cemetery, I felt like I had completely settled a weight on my mind. It's just that I had just returned to the Jiang home with Bai Luo Yan when my brother and mother took me out again, and Bai Luo Yan, who hadn't had a chance to leave yet, was drafted as a driver to go out with us. I turned my head to look at the 2 people sitting in the back seat and asked, Mom, brother, where are we going? Mom smiled and said, I just see that you're too thin, so I thought I'd take you for a full physical checkup to help you build up your body. Right now, nothing is more important than your health. Her tone left no room for me to refuse. Even Bai Luo Yan, who was driving, nodded in agreement. What else could I say? She slowly spoke. Jiang Shen, Auntie Jiang is also worried about your health. Be a good boy and go for the checkup. Everyone will feel at ease. Does everyone include you? My mind suddenly wandered. I spoke this sentence without thinking. The atmosphere in the car immediately fell silent. After a long moment, only Bai Luo Yan's soft chuckle could be heard. Yes, it includes me too. So Jiang Shen, be good. I heard Bai Luo Yan use a tone like she was coaxing a child. I didn't say I wasn't going. I didn't intend to refuse in the first place. My brother raised an eyebrow, and then turned his head to look at Bai Luo Yan driving. Bai Luo Yan, did you hear that? My little brother isn't doing it for you. Bai Luo Yan chuckled and spoke. Well, he'll keep trying next time. With the 2 of them bantering back and forth, I could only shut my mouth. They took me to the private hospital owned by the Jiang family. Since it was our family's hospital, there was no need to wait in line at all. We could start the checkup as soon as we arrived. I just didn't expect to get stuck on the very first test item. The first item was a blood draw, but the problem was that my veins were too small. The nurse pricked me several times but couldn't accurately find a vein. This made Mother Jiang, who was watching from the side, and Jiang's hearts ached terribly. My brother has a hotter temper. Seeing that the nurse had missed the mark, again, he said unhappily, "Do you even know how to draw blood? Are you treating my little brother like a test subject?" The young nurse was also sweating bullets with anxiety. She had worked hard to get a job here, and didn't want to lose it because of this. I saw the anxiety in the young nurse's eyes, and said softly, "Brother, it's okay. It's my problem. My veins are too small." Seeing his little brother say this, my brother couldn't say anything more to the young nurse. The nurse was anxious, and the more anxious she got, the harder it was to find the spot. Seeing that my arm had already been pricked several times by her, with no more room to prick, she was about to cry from worry. Suddenly, Bai Luoyan's voice came from the side, "Let me." Several pairs of eyes simultaneously turned towards Bai Luoyan. I saw that she had started to seriously sterilize her hands in the needle. I looked at her with a doubtful expression. "Bai Luoyan, can you do it? Maybe we should just leave it to the professional if you really can't." I hadn't finished my sentence when I saw Bai Luoyan skillfully take the sterilized needle, first carefully observing the vein on the inside of my arm for a moment, and then accurately inserted the needle. I didn't expect Bai Luoyan to succeed on the first try. I was also a bit dazed. I stared blankly as Bai Luoyan calmly removed her gloves. "Did you study medicine before?" Bai Luoyan shook her head, her tone nonchalant. It looked quite simple. One sentence was a direct slap in the face to the other nurse. The corner of Jiang's mouth twitched. That really sounded like a humble brag, but Bai Luoyan had the right to say it. Look at how accurately she inserted the needle just now. I held the cotton ball on my forearm with one hand, my eyes twinkling as if filled with little stars. "Luoyan, you're amazing." Bai Luoyan chuckled and said, "I just wanted you to get pricked a few less times." I shook my head, indicating it didn't hurt. After passing the first difficult hurdle of the blood draw, the subsequent tests went much more smoothly. It's great to have a hospital owned by my own family. After a series of tests, only 2 hours had passed. My mother and brother insisted on staying at the hospital to wait for the test reports. As for me, because I had to get my blood drawn earlier, I hadn't eaten anything, so Bai Luoyan took me to a nearby private restaurant. I asked curiously, "Is this private restaurant also your family's business?" Bai Luoyan shook her head and said it was my family's. Oh, well. I felt I shouldn't have asked that redundant question. The waiter led Bai Luoyan to her usual private room. As soon as we sat down, before I could even look at the menu, Bai Luoyan had already skillfully ordered several dishes. Then I was surprised to find that among them were several of my favorite dishes. The waiter left after taking the order. I turned my head to look at Bai Luoyan. "How did you know I like to eat those dishes?" Bai Luoyan acted as if it was nothing. "If one wants to know, one will naturally find out." I was stunned for a long time. Suddenly, I thought of Shen Qiaowei. I knew her for a year. I knew all of her preferences clearly, but Shen Qiaowei often couldn't remember what I liked to eat. A few times, Shen Qiaowei took me out to eat. She always ordered the dishes I disliked the most. At the time, I didn't think anything of it and even made excuses for Shen Qiaowei. I felt that she probably just wasn't paying attention, comparing her with Bai Luoyan. I feel that before. The rose-colored glasses of love I had for Shen Qiaowei were really too thick. This private restaurant serves food very quickly. I hadn't waited long before the server brought the dishes we ordered. While we were eating, Bai Luoyan's phone rang. She took it out, looked, and calmly answered, "Sister Luoyan, I heard you're back from Beijing. Are you free tonight? Let's go hang out." Bai Luoyan glanced at me eating and said, "No, I'm not free." "What are you busy with?" "I am with my fiancé." I was so startled by Bai Luoyan's words that I spat out all the soup in my mouth. The other end of the line also fell silent. Then came a woman's piercing scream. "Oh my god! Oh my god! You found my brother-in-law, Sister Luoyan. Is brother-in-law with you right now? Don't you dare deny it." I heard him. Bai Luoyan calmly handed me a tissue. I took it and wiped my mouth, but my attention was still on Bai Luoyan. Mem. I found him a few days ago. Sister Luoyan is finally getting married. Bring brother-in-law out to meet us. We all want to see him. Bring him out to hang out. No means no. After saying that, Bai Luoyan didn't wait for the other person to reply. She just hung up. I waved my hand and looked at Bai Luoyan sheepishly. "I just choked by accident just now." I know. Seeing Bai Luoyan go along with what I said, I, in turn, didn't know what to say. "Was the person on the phone just now your friend?" "A childhood friend." "She's also your sister's childhood friend." "Oh. They asked you to hang out? Why didn't you go?" Bai Luoyan looked up at me, her eyes gentle. "I just said it. I have to be with my fiancé." My cheeks flushed. Bai Luoyan calmly nodded. then just consider it me unilaterally clinging to you. I feel like Bai Luo has completely crumbled in front of me. Is this still the cold, noble woman who sat in the back of the Maybach when we first met a few days ago? After eating, we returned to the private hospital. Mother had also gotten my full-body checkup report. The report showed that everything in my body was normal, just a little anemic and malnourished. Besides that, my body was a bit weak, but there were no major illnesses. When Mother saw the test results, the great weight in her heart was finally lifted. She pulled my brother over and started planning how a nutritionist would help me build up my body. It was already dark when we got home. Exhausted from the day, I fell straight onto the bed and slept soundly until the next morning. The second day after getting the full-body checkup results, the Jiang family's private nutritionist had drafted a meal plan and sent it to Mother Jiang. Along with it was a workout plan, created based on my physical condition. A reasonable diet combined with exercise, I believed my body would quickly recover. Knowing this was all my family's care for me, I didn't refuse. Every day, I seriously followed the schedule for exercise and rest on it. On the first day of my morning run, I ran into Bai Luo Yan, who was also preparing to run. Seeing me at the main gate, Bai Luo Yan didn't seem surprised at all. Let's go together. With Bai Luo Yan accompanying me, I felt that the morning run didn't seem so hard to accept after all. As soon as I entered the house after the run, I heard the complaining voices of my brother and sister coming from the living room. The two of them were fighting over who would run with me tomorrow. As a result, Mother, who was calmly drinking coffee nearby, extinguished their flames of hope with a single sentence. If you two can wake up as early as Luo Yan, I won't object. Hearing that, my brother and sister looked at each other. They silently lowered their heads, their faces showing that all hope was lost. They both have their own careers now. It's just that they've been relatively free lately because I just came back. Later, when they get back to work, waking up early would truly be torture. So they really can't wake up early every day, let alone running with their younger brother. Just thinking about how their little brother would be. Lovingly jogging with Bai Luo Yan every morning, they couldn't stand the jealousy, who can handle so much work every day, and still go to bed early and wake up early. Bai Luo Yan can, who can still wake up and consistently go for a run in the morning, even after working very late. So, in short, the Jiang siblings could only say they couldn't compare. They couldn't compare at all. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed since I was brought back to the Jiang family. In this 1 month, I had adapted to life in the Jiang family. The changes were also very significant. The menu, designed by the nutritionist, plus the professional workout plan, and the various nourishing supplements from the Jiang family, my body became visibly healthier. At the dining table, Father announced it was time to officially introduce me to everyone. Everyone in their circle knew that the Jiang family had a youngest son who was taken away not long after he was born. For over 20 years, the Jiang family had spent a lot of manpower and resources but couldn't find their son who was lost out there. Now that I had been found by the Jiang family, my parents had long wanted to announce the news to the public. I nodded. You and Mom can decide. I will fully cooperate. Hearing that I agreed to hold a party, the whole family was very happy. Their eyes were filled with excited and agitated light. The party was scheduled for the evening in 7 days, in the banquet hall of the hotel, Junhao, the most luxurious hotel in City A. Mother and my sister excitedly dragged me to a high-end shopping mall to choose a suit. There, we ran into my high school classmate, Duo. Are the suits here something that a dirt poor guy like you can afford? A random suit here costs over 100,000. The expensive ones are several 100,000, even 1,000,000. If you damage it, can you afford to pay for it? After scolding me, Duo still felt it wasn't enough. His gaze shifted to the salesperson. When your store chooses customers, can't you screen them first? Don't just let any cat or dog in. What if they damage the clothes here? Can he afford to pay for it? The salesperson was stunned into silence on the spot. Duo saw that both I and the salesperson were silent and thought his words had intimidated us. A sense of superiority welled up in his heart. His eyes fell on the suit in the salesperson's hands. His eyes lit up, and he reached out to snatch it. With quick reflexes, I also grabbed the suit. Duo saw me fighting him for it and used even more force to snatch it. The salesperson beside us watched in terror. With a ripping sound, the suit was torn right down the middle. Duo, the villain, was the first to tattle. He pointed at me and said to the salesperson, "You saw it. He's the one who ruined the suit. Make him pay for it." After speaking, he intended to leave. I took a few steps forward and grabbed Duo's wrist. We ruined the suit together. Don't even think about leaving. Duo's face was filled with disbelief. Mother and my sister heard the argument and rushed over. Duo looked my mother and sister up and down. Seeing that their clothes didn't have any obvious brand logos, his expression immediately turned disdainful. "Jiang Chen, why didn't I know you had a mother? Aren't you an orphan that your grandma picked up and raised?" After speaking, Duo put on a disdainful, sweeping his eyes over Mother Jiang from head to toe. "Looks like your birth mother is also a poor ghost. Just as expected. A perfect match for you." My eyes gradually grew cold. Duo's 2 sentences directly. crossed my two boundaries. One was my grandmother, the other was my birth mother. I rushed forward and punched Qian Duo in the face. Qian Duo was knocked to the ground. Qian Duo came to his senses and looked at me in disbelief. Jiang Chen, you dare to hit me? I got on top of him and punched him 2 more times. Mother and my sister were stunned beside me. After security came and pulled us apart, I finally regained some of my senses. Mother comforted me, saying it was okay. My sister stepped forward and slapped Qian Duo. Is my little brother someone you can hit? Qian Duo was hit by me before, and now he was hit by my sister. He was already full of anger. His tone was naturally impolite. So what if I hit him? I used to bully him all the time in high school. He didn't even dare to fart. Hearing Qian Duo confess to bullying me in high school, I silently lit a stick of incense for him in my heart. Warriors are always brave enough to confess. My mother's and sister's expressions turned cold. My sister had learned self-defense since she was young. She stepped forward and kicked Qian Duo. Qian Duo was sent flying. He slammed hard into the wall, and the pain immediately contorted his face. My sister's face was completely cold. The aura around her, almost able to freeze people. She no longer had the image of the gentle and kind sister she was in front of me. HMH, offending our Jiang family and being stupid enough not to know it. Who gave you the gall to bully my Jiang Wanru's little brother? Qian Duo was about to curse, but after hearing the words Jiang family and Jiang Wanru, he was immediately stunned. At that moment, several bodyguards in black suits rushed in. Jiang Wanru, with an indifferent expression, pointed at Qian Duo on the ground. Gag him and take him away from me. The bodyguards acted quickly, gagging Qian Duo. Ignoring his struggles, they took him away. My sister let out a breath. She turned her head, her expression changing back to that of a sister. Gently, Mom, little brother, I am going to take care of something. After speaking, she left. After the incident with Qian Duo, Mother was no longer in the mood to shop. She took me to the private hospital, affiliated with the Jiang family for a mandatory checkup. After returning home, my father and brother heard about this and were very angry. Who is it? Who has such big guts to dare bully my Jiang family's son? At this time, my sister returned and handed a folder in her hand to father. My brother also leaned over to take a look. The father and son only got angrier the more they looked. The anger in their eyes vaguely seemed uncontrollable. A hint of guilt flashed across my sister's face. Little Chen, I am sorry. I had people investigate what happened in your high school. She didn't finish her sentence, but I already understood. My high school matters were exposed to the Jiang family. This time, Qian Duo's entire family couldn't hope to live in peace. At this point, my sister handed me another folder. After reading that folder, I was shocked. I never expected the Qian family to have secretly done so many bad things. Compared to a prestigious family like the Jiang family, the Qian family could only be said to have some petty cash. But I never expected that the Qian family's money all came from such activities. The Qian family still didn't know that because of Qian Duo, the entire Qian family was implicated. At night, I had some trouble sleeping. So I decided to go to the study to find a book to kill time. Suddenly, the door connecting the study to the sky corridor was knocked on. As soon as I turned my head, I saw Bai Luoyan standing outside the door. I quickly put down the book in my hand and opened the door. Then, before Bai Luoyan could speak, I pulled her into my study. It's so cold outside. Why aren't you wearing more clothes? What if you catch a cold? Bai Luoyan looked at me, the corners of her mouth slightly raised. Are you worried about me? I am not worried about you. No, I am worried about you. That's not it either. Anyway, you get what I mean, right? Bai Luoyan looked at my panicked attempt to explain. The curve of her lips grew wider. MHM, I understand you're worried about my health. She hit the nail on the head, and I felt a little embarrassed. Bai Luoyan, I was about to say something. Suddenly, there was an intentional cough from outside the room. Then, my brother's voice sounded, Little brother, are you asleep yet? Instinctively, I used my other hand to cover Bai Luoyan's mouth. Then I shouted to my brother outside the door. Brother, I was just about to sleep. My brother at the door was at a loss for words. After a moment of silence, he still spoke, then get some rest. I am going back to my room. Okay. Good night, brother. As soon as I turned my head, I met Bai Luoyan's teasing gaze. I realized I was still covering Bai Luoyan's mouth, so I immediately pulled my hand back. Sorry about that. Are you that scared of your brother finding me in your room? I had the flustered feeling of being seen through. I pushed Bai Luoyan out of the study. I closed the door and immediately ran back to my room. I silently recited a calming mantra, trying to hypnotize myself to sleep quickly. But the more I wanted to sleep, the more I couldn't. I turned over. Through the floor-to-ceiling window of my room, I could clearly see Bai Luoyan's room opposite mine. Her room was dark now, but the light in the study next to it was still on. I took out my phone to check the time. It was already 11 p.m. I quietly got up again, went downstairs, and snuck into the kitchen. Bai Luoyan was handling company documents. Suddenly, the door behind her was knocked on lightly. She instinctively turned her head. Then she immediately stood up and went to open the door. I was holding a tray. On it was a bowl of hot noodles, clearly just made. Bai Luoyan looked at the bowl of noodles. A light seemed to flash in the depths of her eyes. Did you make this for me on purpose? Although it was a question, Bai Luoyan's tone was very certain. I placed the bowl of noodles on her desk and pulled Bai Luoyan to sit down. Work is important, but you still have to pay attention to your health. I don't know if it's to your taste. You should try it. If you don't like it, tell me what you want to eat. I'll make it for you next time. Bai Luoyan reached out and hugged me. I was so scared I didn't dare to move. Bai Luoyan took a deep breath, suppressing the emotion in her heart, but she didn't let go of me. Sorry, I lost control a little just now. After a pause, Bai Luoyan continued. Jiang Chen, I am very happy. I was stunned for a moment. Then I felt that Bai Luoyan's current posture was a bit ambiguous. I pulled her away a little. You should eat quickly. I am going back to sleep. After saying that, I quickly opened the door to Bai Luoyan's study. I ran along the long corridor back to my room. Bai Luoyan watched me leave. Shen Xiaowei's face was expressionless. She instinctively wanted to shake off Song Jinnian's hand. Suddenly, as if thinking of something, she stopped her movement. Seeing this, a smug look flashed in Song Jinnian's eyes. Wei, my parents said that this Jiang family banquet is extremely important. They told us we must treat it seriously. I know. Song Jinnian saw her impatience, but didn't dare to say more. Silently following Shen Xiaowei into the car that picked them up from the airport to go to the hotel. As soon as she got in the car, Shen Xiaowei took the opportunity to pull her hand back. She turned her head to look at the unfamiliar city outside the car window. In the evening, I followed my father to the Junhao Hotel. The Junhao Hotel is an asset of the Luo family. Bai Luoyan had prepared a luxurious lounge for me. Not long after, a bodyguard came to announce that the banquet was about to begin. Father led my brother and me towards the banquet hall. On the way, I suddenly felt a bit unwell and wanted to go to the restroom. So my father and brother went to the banquet hall first. I was in a bit of a hurry and didn't choose to go back to the lounge to use the restroom. Instead, I went straight to the restroom at the end of the corridor. After taking care of my physiological needs, I planned to go to the banquet hall. As a result, just as I stepped out of the restroom, I came face to face with an acquaintance. When Song Jinnian saw me appear here, his eyes nearly bulged out like bronze bells. Jiang Chen, why are you here? I frowned, recognizing Song Jinnian. He was the one from the bar last time, the guy sitting next to Shen Xiaowei in the private room. I remembered the way Song Jinnian looked at Shen Xiaowei. It wasn't pure at all. He definitely liked Shen Xiaowei. I said softly, let me pass. I didn't want to get too involved with Song Jinnian here. I had a vague feeling that if Song Jinnian was here, then Shen Xiaowei would definitely appear as well. On such a good day, I didn't want to see these two unlucky people. Seeing that I was about to leave, Song Jinnian immediately blocked my way. Song Jinnian recognized the suit I was wearing. It was a high-end, custom-made designer brand, the kind you can't buy even with money. Instinctively, Song Jinnian thought that I must have latched onto some rich woman. Jiang Chen. I can't believe it's been over a month. You've managed to find such a rich sugar mommy. It seems your sugar mommy treats you pretty well. My eyes grew cold. I advise you to watch your mouth. Before I could even say the word move, Song Jinnian gave me a hard shove. I lost my balance and fell straight to the ground. My white suit was immediately dirtied. I glared at Song Jinnian angrily, but I didn't intend to let this kind of trash ruin today's event. I intended to walk around Song Jinnian to leave, but as I looked up, I came face to face with Shen Xiaowei, who had appeared here at some point. Shen Xiaowei looked at me, her eyes filled with unconcealable joy. Jiang Chen, I finally found you. I coldly withdrew my gaze. Miss, you have the wrong person. I am not the Jiang Chen you're talking about. With that, I intended to walk past Shen Xiaowei. As a result, the moment we passed each other, Shen Xiaowei forcefully grabbed my hand. No, Jiang Chen, I can't be mistaken. You are my Jiang Chen. Looking at Shen Xiaowei's unchanging, deeply affectionate appearance, I only felt disgust and revulsion. I forcefully shook off Shen Xiaowei's hand. Song Jinnian could only glare fiercely at my back. Jiang Chen, you still dare to think about seducing Wei? I'll beat you to death. With that, Song Jinnian rushed forward to hit me. I nimbly dodged to one side. If you're not using your eyes, go donate. Which of your eyes saw me seducing Shen Xiaowei? If you want her, just take her. I don't want her. I just hope you two stay away from me. Shen Xiaowei was stunned on the spot by my words. She looked at me in disbelief, her eyes filled with emotions that swirled unspoken. Jiang Chen, don't call me Jiang Chen, Shen Xiaowei. You and I have no relationship anymore. Don't call me that. It disgusts me. Shen Xiaowei was hurt by the deep disgust in my eyes, and her body staggered. She took 2 steps back. I paid no attention to Shen Xiaowei and looked at Song Jinnian, speaking fiercely. Control your woman properly. Besides, I don't go back for leftovers. While Song Jinnian and Shen Xiaowei were stunned, I calmly walked away. As I passed the corner, I bumped straight into a warm embrace. A familiar, pure scent reached me. I lowered my head and met Bai Luo Yan's deep eyes. Bai Luo Yan. Why are you here? Bai Luo Yan looked down at my clothes. It's dirty. Bai Luo Yan's eyes darkened. She took my hand and led me to the lounge. The clothes are dirty. I had no choice but to change into the other splendid suit that mother and my sister had prepared for me beforehand. Bai Luo Yan waited outside. The moment I stepped out, Bai Luo Yan's gaze was glued to me. Her cheeks flushed as she complimented. Very handsome. This was the first time I had worn this kind of clothing, so I was a little unused to it. Bai Luo Yan linked her arm with mine, and we left the lounge together. We appeared in the banquet hall under everyone's attention. Everyone in the hall and the brilliant spotlights shone precisely on us at the same time. The moment the spotlights hit me, I felt a little nervous. Bai Luo Yan said softly, "Don't be nervous. Just think of them as cabbages and vegetables." Bai Luo Yan's comfort actually made me less nervous. With my appearance, the banquet officially began. The first dance of the banquet was danced by Bai Luo Yan and me. The lights in the banquet hall immediately went out. Only a single, brilliant spotlight remained in the center. I made a gentlemanly gesture towards Bai Luo Yan. Bai Luo Yan slowly placed her hand on my palm. I enveloped Bai Luo Yan's hand, but it was she who led me, slowly walking under the spotlight. Melodious music began to play. Bai Luo Yan, as if she had practiced many times before, gently placed her hand on my shoulder. My hand wrapped around Bai Luo Yan's slender waist. While I was still in a daze, Bai Luo Yan had already led me into the dance. I quickly caught up to Bai Luo Yan's rhythm. The two of us danced gracefully in the middle of the grand banquet hall. After dancing for a while, I gradually forgot about the surrounding guests. My eyes only saw Bai Luo Yan. We coordinated perfectly. The final move ended perfectly. Immediately, thunderous applause erupted in the banquet hall. Bai Luo Yan and I looked at each other and smiled. We bowed to thank the surrounding guests. The lights in the banquet hall came on again. My father took the microphone from the MC's hand. The purpose of today's banquet is to announce to everyone the news of our Jiang family's youngest son's return. Father Jiang looked at me gently. I took a step forward and stood beside him. Jiang Chen is the biological son of our Jiang family who was lost. From today on, he will officially return to the Jiang family. As soon as he finished speaking, all the guests present began to applaud. Next, my father led me around the banquet to build connections. Suddenly, Bai Luo Yan walked over. "Excuse me for interrupting, Uncle Jiang. Could I borrow Jiang Chen for a moment?" My father looked at me. "Of course, you can." Bai Luo Yan nodded gently, then reached out, took my hand, and led me to the dessert area. I looked at her gratefully, as I had been starving for a long time. Bai Luo Yan told me to sit down while she went to get food for me. Suddenly, a voice I despised sounded in my ear. "Jiang Chen, what is your relationship with her?" I just turned my head, and sure enough, I saw Shen Qiaowei. "Does it have anything to do with you, Shen Qiaowei? You and I are over." Shen Qiaowei's eyes were red, and in her gaze towards me was a deep emotion that I couldn't understand. "Jiang Chen, as long as you agree to get back together with me, I will immediately abort my child with Song Jin Nian." Hearing her words, I couldn't help but laugh scornfully. "Shen Qiaowei, the biggest regret of my life is having ever loved you. Get lost." Shen Qiaowei's eyes were empty, her face full of hurt. I was afraid that when Bai Luo Yan returned, she would misunderstand, so I prepared to leave. Suddenly, the voice of Shen Qiaowei sounded from behind me. "Jiang Chen, do you know who the woman who was just with you is? That's the young lady of the Luo family." "What does an orphan have to marry the young lady of the Luo family?" There was no expression on my face. Shen Qiaowei probably didn't hear the part where my father announced my identity. Seeing that I didn't say anything, Shen Qiaowei thought that I had taken her words to heart. "So you, Shen Qiaowei, what do you want to say?" The light in Shen Qiaowei's eyes grew brighter and brighter. "Jiang Chen, leave Bai Luo Yan. Come back to me, okay?" I turned around and looked at Shen Qiaowei. "Shen Qiaowei, in your eyes, what are Song Jin Nian and I?" "Jiang Chen, of course, you are the one I love the most." Shen Qiaowei, stop deceiving yourself. You never took me seriously from the beginning. The light in Shen Qiaowei's eyes gradually faded. "Jiang Chen, what do you mean?" My voice was calm, with no expression on my face. "You said you wanted to test me. That's why you got to know me. But were you really serious about this relationship? You only saw your own sacrifices for me, feeling that my heartless breakup with you betrayed your true feelings. But what about you?" The more I spoke, the paler Shen Qiaowei's face. "Just be with Song Jin Nian. He truly loves you." "Jiang Chen, but I still love you. But I don't love you anymore." "Shen Qiaowei, listen carefully. I don't love you now, and I won't love you in the future either." I took a few steps closer to Shen Qiaowei, my eyes cold. "Ever since you toyed with and spent my grandmother's life-saving money, there's no longer any possibility between us." The last glimmer of light in Shen Qiaowei's eyes completely vanished. The phone in her pocket rang. It was a call from Song Jin Nian. and I had already left. Walking towards Bai Luoyan, who was returning with a cake, Bai Luoyan looked up. Her gaze quietly swept over the spot where Shen Qiaowei had just stood. "Why did you come out here?" I said vaguely. I was in a hurry to eat. The atmosphere in there isn't great. Can we find another spot?" "Okay. Let's go then. Let's find another place to sit." Bai Luoyan looked at me, a gentle smile playing on her lips. "You've met her, haven't you?" My hand, holding the cake, paused. Then I forced a smile. "Yes. I was waiting for you to come back. She showed up uninvited, so we exchanged a few words. I've made things clear with her. Made it very clear. I promise this is the last time. From now on, even if I see her on the street, ill-treat her as a stranger." That's good. Bai Luoyan was always like this, never prying too much. She was so tactful. I felt very comfortable with her. "Bai Luoyan, you're so outstanding. There must be quite a few guys who like you, right? Have you ever been in love?" When I asked this, I didn't dare to look into Bai Luoyan's eyes. I was even more afraid to hear Bai Luoyan say she had been in love before. I was also afraid she'd say she already had someone else in her heart. After a long silence, I was so tense I could barely breathe. But Bai Luoyan still didn't speak. I couldn't help but look up at her, only to see Bai Luoyan smiling at me. "If you agree, I don't mind giving you my first love." I panicked and lowered my head, taking a bite of cake to hide my reaction. But I felt that my heart was even sweeter than that cake, knowing I was the first person Bai Luoyan liked. The joy in my heart was greater than I could have imagined. I didn't explicitly agree to be with Bai Luoyan, and Bai Luoyan didn't press the issue. We had a mutual understanding. We understood each other without words. After that party, I never saw Shen Qiaowei again, nor did I see Song Jin Nian. Ever since my identity was revealed to high society, I received endless invitations to go out, but after going out twice, I didn't want to go out anymore. That day, my father, brother, and sister came home from work just as I was coming out of the kitchen. "Dad, you're all back. Hurry and wash your hands for dinner." When my father heard I had cooked myself, he was over the moon. Everyone sat down and looked at the table full of delicious food. The smiles on their faces never faded. I served my family the dishes they liked. Gradually, they finally realized my unusual enthusiasm. My mother put down her chopsticks. A gentle smile appeared on her face. "Little Chen, is there something you want to tell us?" As soon as Mother Jiang said that, the other three also put down their chopsticks, looking at me with curiosity. I was stunned and slowly put down my chopsticks too. "Is it that obvious?" All four of them nodded in unison. Seeing that my thoughts had been seen through, I had to confess. "Dad, Mom, brother, sister, I want to discuss something with you all." Seeing my serious expression, the four members of the Jiang family couldn't help but become serious as "I want to get a job. Is that okay?" As soon as these words were out, the dining room was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. After a long moment, my father suddenly let out a sigh of relief. "I thought you were going to say something serious. So you just want to work?" "No problem, Jiang Chen. Tomorrow you can." "No, no, no, Dad. I don't want to join our family's company." Father Jiang was stunned. "Then what you mean is, I want to start on my own, from an entry-level position." As soon as I said this, the four members of the Jiang family looked at each other. For a moment, they were all silent. Father Jiang thought for a bit, and then slowly spoke. "Little Chen, you don't want to join my company or your brother's company, so how about this? I'll find another company, and you can go straight to work there. How does that sound?" I knew Father Jiang meant well, but I still tactfully refused. I knew they didn't want to see me struggle, working from the bottom up, but I also knew my own capabilities. I want to improve, to become a better version of myself. I watched her grow up. She's very professional and fair. It's a good thing that you want to train yourself. Going to her company is very suitable. Seeing that I was wavering a little, my sister also joined in to persuade me. I was completely convinced and agreed. I would start my position at Bai Luoyan's company after the new year. Late at night, Bai Luoyan knocked on my study door. I turned my head, saw it was Bai Luoyan, and smiled as I opened the door. "Come in. Why aren't you wearing more clothes?" Looking at the thin loungewear on Bai Luoyan, my voice held a hint of reproach. The corners of Bai Luoyan's mouth lifted slightly. I heard from Auntie Jiang. What did you hear?" "About you, starting at my company after the new year." I suddenly understood, and suddenly felt a little embarrassed. "You don't need to give me any special treatment. I'll follow your company's rules." Bai Luoyan looked at me without a word, only speaking after a long moment. "Okay. I won't give you any special treatment." Hearing Bai Luoyan's assurance, I breathed a sigh of relief. "So you came to see me this late just to talk about this?" "No, I came to see you. The other things were just incidental." My heart fluttered, but I pretended to be indifferent. "Oh, is that so?" Bai Luoyan leaned in, bringing her face close to mine. "Don't you want to see me?" "I don't. I mean, we live so close. It's very convenient for you to see me, isn't it?" Little Chen is right." After saying that, the two of us suddenly fell silent. After a while, Bai Luoyan slowly spoke up. It's the end of the year. I might be a little busy recently. Oh, CEO Luo must be working hard. Bai Luo Yan's eyes sparkled. I was stunned and looked up at Bai Luo Yan. A smile bloomed on her lips. If you can hug me, maybe I won't be so tired anymore. Almost the instant Bai Luo Yan's words ended, I pulled Bai Luo Yan into my arms. I tried to control my voice, to make it sound normal. Is this okay? I only heard Bai Luo Yan's soft chuckle in my ear. Jiang Chen, why are you so obedient? I muttered softly. Didn't you want a hug? I was the one who asked for it. Bai Luo Yan didn't dwell on this topic for long. She changed the subject. After this busy period, let's go to the hot springs, okay? Bai Luo Yan saw my eager expression, and the corners of her mouth curved slightly. Then, as if she remembered something, Bai Luo Yan said, my younger brother is coming back from abroad in a few days. He wants to meet you. I knew Bai Luo Yan had a younger brother studying abroad. Hearing that he wanted to meet me, I suddenly felt a little nervous. Will your brother dislike me? Should I prepare a first meeting gift for him? Bai Luo Yan looked at me amusedly. You don't need to prepare anything special. Why not? He's your brother. Shouldn't I get on good terms with him? After realizing what I had said, I immediately fell silent. I sneaked a glance at Bai Luo Yan. She looked at me meaningfully. You're right. Getting on good terms with my future brother-in-law early is very necessary. Jiang Chen is so farsighted. Bai Luo Yan's eyes crinkled, looking very cheerful. I felt embarrassed and started ushering her out. It's late, and you have work tomorrow. Go get some sleep. Bai Luo Yan knew when to stop and quickly gave me a peck on the cheek. Good night. Then she left cheerfully. Even though Bai Luo Yan said it wasn't necessary to prepare a special gift for her brother, I still went out. I went straight to the Rolex watch store and immediately spotted a watch. I smiled at the salesperson in front of me. Could you please take it out for me to see? Yes, sir. Please wait a moment. Saying that, the employee put on gloves and carefully took the watch out of the counter, placing it on the display tray in front of me. I saw the employee wearing gloves, so I casually asked, can I hold it directly in my hand to look at it? Of course. Another employee suddenly said in a sarcastic tone, I advise you not to. If you can't afford it, don't touch it. Can you afford to pay for it if you get it dirty? Just then, a young man dressed in designer clothes walked in. That salesperson immediately lit up and eagerly went over. Sir, what would you like to buy? The young man took off his sunglasses and looked around. Bring out all the latest watch models in your store for me to see. I am planning to buy a gift for someone. Yes. Sir, please wait a moment. I averted my gaze and looked at the salesperson in front of me. Then he'll pick it up and have a look. Don't worry, I won't get it dirty. The salesperson saw this and smiled. Of course. It's fine. Please feel free to look. It's your right. The sarcastic employee from before happened to walk by and shot me a big glare. I paid him no mind and started to carefully examine the watch in my hand. The watch was truly beautiful, and the craftsmanship was exquisite. It was indeed a good choice for a gift. While I was looking at the watch, the young man who had just entered suddenly looked at the watch in my hand. His eyes lit up, but before he could speak, the salesperson who was attending to him earlier suddenly rushed over to me and snatched the watch from my hand. I was a bit displeased. My tone turned cold. What are you doing? That salesperson, with a fawning expression, presented the watch to the other young man. Sir, here's the watch you wanted. Bai Uci was also clearly stunned for a moment. After recovering, he frowned. Did I say I wanted this watch? As soon as he said this, the store immediately fell silent. That salesperson didn't expect that his attempt to flatter had not only failed, but had completely backfired. I just saw you give it a second look. So I thought. You thought. What did you think? It's true. I gave that watch a second look, but that doesn't mean I want it. Besides, can't you see that this gentleman is looking at it? Don't you understand the concept of first come, first served? Bai Yu's actions really surprised me a little. I thought I was about to meet another arrogant young master. I didn't expect Bai Yu to say that. Bai Yu came to my side. Sir, I am so sorry. My first impression of Bai Yu was very good. I waved my hand to show I didn't mind. Bai Yu spoke again. Sir, I actually quite like this watch. I was wondering if you could part with it. I plan to buy it as a gift for my future brother-in-law. Hearing that he was buying the watch for his brother-in-law, I nodded. Sure. If you like it, take it. I can just choose another one. I continued to browse the counter. After paying, Bai Yu took his things and left the watch store. Before leaving, he ran up to me and asked for my contact information, saying he felt a strong connection with me. I also had a good impression of Bai Yu, so I exchanged contact information with him. After Bai Yu left, I browsed the store for a while and chose the most expensive watch in the store. I took out a black card to pay. Seeing the black card, the employee who had looked down on me earlier, his eyes nearly popped out of his head. He immediately changed his attitude and walked over with a fawning smile. Sir, let me help you wrap it. I smiled at him. A poor bum like me doesn't want your service at all. Sorry. Also, you're fired. When he heard the first part, he could still maintain a forced smile on his face, but after hearing the second part, his smile froze. The fawning look on his face turned to anger. Who do you think you are? You want to fire me? In your dreams. Hearing this, I became interested. Oh? Could it be that you have some backing? His expression immediately. I don't mind telling you. My godmother is the manager of this shopping mall. I nodded, feigning understanding. I pretended to be scared and patted my chest, but my eyes were full of amusement. You scared me to death. I thought your godmother was the owner. Turns out she's just the store manager of the shopping mall. After saying that, I took out my phone and made a call. Very quickly, a middle-aged woman walked in. Behind her was a plump, middle-aged woman. When that employee saw the plump woman, his expression immediately changed. Like a social butterfly, he went from behind the counter and ran out, directly pulling the plump woman's arm. He opened his mouth and said, Godmother, you have to stand up for me. This person said he wants to fire me. The plump middle-aged woman, he called Godmother, was sweating profusely, wishing she could sever all ties with him. My gaze fell on the other middle-aged woman. Hello, director. That middle-aged woman immediately came to my side. Young Master Jiang, do you have any instructions? Seeing the mall director being so respectful to me, the cold sweat on the plump woman's forehead beat it up even more. I smiled at the middle-aged woman. Director, I think for the image of the shopping mall, shouldn't we fire employees like this? I looked at the plump woman and the employee standing to one side. This time, the plump woman could no longer remain calm. She pushed the employee away and came up to me with a smiling face. Young Master Jiang, if you want to fire this employee, just fire him. But can you please spare me this one time? I have elderly parents and young children at home. I shot her a cold glance. The mall director immediately understood my meaning. She turned to look at that employee, her tone cold. You're fired. I took the carefully wrapped watch and left the shopping mall. The director personally saw me to the door, watched me leave before returning to the jewelry store from earlier. As for the employee who wasn't snobbish earlier, promoted to store manager, I drove home. As soon as I entered, the butler came out to greet me. Second, young master, you're back. Yes. Is something the matter? The butler said, Madam is back, and young master UC from the Bai family has also arrived. I was a little stunned. Then I reacted. UC must be the name of Bei Luo Yan's younger brother. I glanced at the watch bag in my hand, and suddenly felt a bit of anticipation to meet Bai UC. Before I entered, I could already hear cheerful laughter and conversation in the living room. Furthermore, Mother Bai was also here. I quickened my pace into the living room. Mom, I am home. Hearing this, the people sitting in the living room all at once turned their heads to look. I also saw Bai Yu Si on the living room sofa. It's you. It's you. Bai Yu Si stood up from the sofa. You're the son who was lost outside for over 20 years of Auntie Jiang. I nodded. Bai Yu Si suddenly reached out and grabbed my hand. So you're my future brother-in-law. I was just regretting that I couldn't introduce a handsome and outstanding guy like you to my sister. I was flustered by Bai Yu Si's enthusiasm. Just then, Bei Luo Yan pulled Bai Yu Si away. Bai Yu Si, you're scaring him. Bai Luo Yan pulled me to her side. Brother-in-law, look at how my sister is acting so shamelessly. I was made a little embarrassed by Bai Yu Si's brother-in-law, call, and laughed shyly. But Bai Luo Yan was in a very good mood, the corners of her mouth lifting slightly. Bai Yu Si took out the watch from before and gave it to me. I didn't expect this watch would end up in my brother-in-law's hands after all. I also gave the gift I had chosen to Bai Yu Si. I hope you like it too. Bai Yu Si took the gift box and opened it. The moment he saw the watch, his eyes lit up. Brother-in-law, you have great taste. I think my sister isn't good enough for you. Brother Chen, how about you? Before Bai Yu Si could finish his sentence, his mouth was covered by Bai Luo Yan. Bai Luo Yan fiercely warned him to shut up. Bai Yu Si, I am warning you. Don't talk nonsense to your brother-in-law. Bai Yu Si glanced between us. Sis, are you really afraid Brother Chen won't want you? Ha ha ha. I was about to explain, but Bai Yu Si made a kiosk face. Don't explain. I get it all. He looked at us. Mother Jiang and Mother Bai were on the side, smiling as they watched the three of us joke around. They looked at each other and laughed. Mother Jiang knew Bai Yu Si was coming back today, so she had arranged for the two families to have dinner together tonight. Not long after, everyone had arrived. Old Master Bai clamored to see his grandson-in-law as soon as he entered. I hurried forward to greet him. Mr. Bai. Old Master Bai frowned. Just call me Grandpa. What's this, Mr. Bai? I was a little embarrassed, but I still obediently called him Grandpa, which made Old Master Bai extremely happy. The two families sat down to eat together in a lively atmosphere. Bai Yu Si picked up a piece of lobster, intending to put it in my bowl, but was stopped by Bai Luo Yan. Jiang Chen is allergic to seafood. He can't eat it. As soon as Bai Yu Si heard I was allergic to seafood, he immediately retracted his chopstick. Sorry, Brother Chen. I didn't know. I was stunned and quickly said, It's okay. You didn't know, right? My father and mother were also very surprised. They didn't expect Bai Luo Yan to know I was allergic to seafood. They knew about it, because I had mentioned it once while eating seafood. as the meal was ending. Bai Luo Yan suggested that after the new year, we all go to the hot springs together. Old Master Bai was old and didn't like going out, so he wouldn't go. Mr. and Mrs. Bai didn't feel comfortable leaving the old man at home alone, so they didn't go either. My parents also didn't plan to go. In the end, only the younger generation of the two families would go. As soon as he heard about going to the hot springs, Bai Uce became extremely excited. He hadn't been to a hot spring in a long time. That night, Bai Uce stayed at my house. Lying in bed, he asked, "Brother Chen, what do you think of my sister?" I didn't expect Bai Uce to be so direct right away. I also thought about it seriously. Your sister is a very good person. She's beautiful, has a good family background, and a good personality. Are you sure you're talking about my sister? Bai Luo Yan. Yes. Bai Uce's mouth twitched slightly. His sister has a good personality, he said. Nothing. Brother Chen, please continue. I continued to talk about my thoughts on Bai Luo Yan. Unconsciously, I had recalled the entire process of getting to know Bai Luo Yan. After Bai Uce heard this, he had a new understanding of his own sister. Then, Bai Uce also told me stories about Bai Luo Yan. From Bai Uce's mouth, I learned about a different Bai Luo Yan. This Bai Luo Yan was cold, quiet, and rarely smiled. But she had been outstanding since she was a child. Her abilities far surpassed her peers. Bai Luo Yan never relied on the Bai family being behind her, but on herself. The success Bai Luo Yan has today is because she struggled and worked her way up step by step. After hearing this, I just felt that Bai Luo Yan was truly outstanding. The admiration in my eyes was almost irrepressible. New Year's Eve was approaching. The maids of the Jiang and Bai families started to get busy with cleaning and shopping. I looked at the busy maids around me and suddenly remembered last New Year's Eve. Last New Year's Eve, my grandmother and I were squeezed into that tiny house. At that time, my grandmother's health was still quite good. During that time, to give her a decent new year, I worked several jobs at once, leaving early and coming home late every day. I was so busy I had no time to rest. When my grandmother found out, she was heartbroken, and Shen Qiao Wei because I was working and had no time for her, even threw a tantrum once. On New Year's Eve, I bought a new set of clothes for my grandmother. When she received the new clothes, although she scolded me for spending money recklessly, the smile on her face couldn't be hidden. Thinking of my deceased grandmother, my heart still felt a little sad. I never thought that in just one short year, so many things would happen. My grandmother passed away, and I broke up with Shen Qiao Wei. I even found my biological parents and was welcomed back into the Jiang family. I have parents, a brother, and a sister who love me. And there's Bai Luo Yan. Thinking of Bai Luo Yan, a flash of disappointment crossed my eyes. Originally, Bai Luo Yan said that after this busy period, she would be free. But just a few days before New Year's Eve, the company suddenly had a business trip that Bai Luo Yan had to go on personally. This trip lasted several days. With New Year's Eve approaching, Bai Luo Yan was still abroad and couldn't come back. On the night of New Year's Eve, the Bai and Jiang families gathered again. Except for Bai Luo Yan, both families were all present. Exquisite dishes filled a long table. Everyone had a radiant smile on their face. I, however, occasionally glanced at that empty seat, sighing inwardly. After dinner, the two families sat in the living room, talking and laughing. Old Master Bai was old and had already gone to bed early. The parents of both families gathered to chat. My two siblings, Bai Uce and I, sat together playing Fight the Landlord. After losing more than 10 games in a row, Bai Uce threw down his cards in a huff. I am not playing anymore. I am not playing. I keep losing. If my sister were here, I definitely wouldn't be this miserable. I didn't know how to play, so I just stood aside and watched, but my mind gradually drifted away. I sat to the side, dazed. Bai Uce kept losing all evening. Gradually, only the four of us were left in the living room. Suddenly my phone rang. I took it out to look, and discovered it was a call from Bai Luo Yan. I looked at the three who were still took my phone and quietly went out to the yard. Hello. Jiang Chen. Yes, it's me. What are you doing? I glanced towards the living room, watching Uce and my older brother and sister play Fight the Landlord. The other end of the line was silent for a moment. Then Bai Luo Yan's clear voice came through. Jiang Chen. Do you miss me? Before I could answer, Bai Luo Yan spoke first. You miss me. My lips moved. So when are you coming back? I don't know if it was my imagination, but I heard footsteps on the other end of the line. The next second, a clear voice sounded. Jiang Chen. Look up. I unconsciously looked up, only to see a slender figure standing in the middle of the yard. Seeing me look over, Bai Luo Yan waved at me. The moment I saw Bai Luo Yan appear before me, I heard my heart pound. Without hesitation, I ran towards Bai Luo Yan and hugged her tightly. Bai Luo Yan. Why are you back? Bai Luo Yan wrapped her arms around me a little tighter and rested her head on my neck. I missed you, so I came back. My body stiffened. Her warm, steady breath tickled my neck. I couldn't help but tremble. Bai Luo Yan seemed to sense my awkwardness, but not only did she not let go, She held me even tighter. I was stunned and opened my mouth to say, Bai Luo Yan, you must be very tired. A little tired, so don't push me away. Let me hug you for a while. My heart softened involuntarily. I reached out and gently patted Bai Luo Yan's back. I won't push you away. The other day, I had asked Bai Luo Yan if she would be back for New Year's Eve. As a result, Bai Luo Yan said she was too busy with work and might not be able to come back. So I was disappointed for a long time. Didn't you say you couldn't make it back in time? Why are you suddenly back? I didn't even realize that when I said this, my tone unconsciously carried a hint of complaint. Bai Luo Yan chuckled softly. I didn't want my Jiang Chen to be sad, so I quickly finished my work and came back. I was stunned. I wanted to say I wasn't sad, but when the words reached my lips, I couldn't say a single one. Are you happy to see me? Hearing the certainty and smugness in Bai Luo Yan's tone, I really wanted to be firm and say I wasn't happy, but those words circled my lips and were swallowed back down. I am a little happy. Bai Luo Yan raised an eyebrow. Oh? So you're only a little happy? I don't know how long we hugged in the courtyard, until I felt cold and my body subconsciously shivered a little. It was only then that Bai Luo Yan realized that I had run out without a coat. Let's go inside. Bai Luo Yan led me into the living room. Bai Yuzi immediately came over and shoved the cards in his hand into hers. Sis, save me. Your little brother here has been losing all night. Quick, help me. Jiang Wanru raised an eyebrow. What's this? Care to play a few rounds? Bai Luo Yan calmly took off her coat and placed it on the sofa. If you want to play, let's play. Shuffle and deal again. I don't know how to play, so I stood aside with Bai Yuzi to watch. Bai Yuzi was right about one thing, that if Bai Luo Yan were here, he wouldn't have lost so miserably all night. After Bai Luo Yan took Bai Yuzi's place in the game, the one who kept losing became Jiang Wanru. Jiang Yang also lost quite a bit, but compared to him, Jiang Wanru's situation was a bit more tragic. Bai Yuzi, who had been losing all night, finally won back a round thanks to his sister. A smug look was written all over his face. I checked the time. Somehow, it was already 11:58. Suddenly, Bai Luo Yan leaned close to me. Do you want to see fireworks? My eyes lit up. Bai Luo Yan's lips curved slightly. She took my hand and walked towards the garden. In the dead of night, it was unusually quiet outside. The five of us stood in the courtyard, along with the countdown to the new year at 12 o'clock. After the last second passed, the first firework lit up the sky. Then came the second, and the third. Brilliant fireworks bloomed one after another, blooming in the sky. I turned my head to look at Bai Luo Yan. Did you arrange this? Machem. Do you like it? Yes. I like it. Under the brilliant fire, Bai Luo Yan and I spoke at the same time. Bai Luo Yan, Happy New Year. Jiang Chen, Happy New Year. We looked at each other and smiled. I could feel the hand beside me still holding mine. My hand tightened slightly. I hesitated for a few seconds, and then gently tightened my own grip. Finally, I intertwined my fingers with Bai Luo Yan's. After watching the fireworks and welcoming the new year, everyone went to their rooms to sleep. The next afternoon, Bai Luo Yan and Bai Yuzi weren't in the Jiang family's living room. It made me feel a bit strange. When I went downstairs, I only saw my eldest brother there. My eldest sister wasn't there either. Brother, where's sis? Jiang Chen, you're up? Your sister? She went over to the Bai family's house next door. What for? Before Jiang Yang could explain, we suddenly heard a commotion from the door, along with the sound of approaching footsteps. Jiang Wanru's voice rang out. When you meet my little brother later, tone down your noisy self. Don't scare him. Another unfamiliar voice replied. All right. Ill restrained myself. Okay. I finally get to meet my brother-in-law. Sister Luo Yan was so secretive before. She wouldn't let us meet him. So stingy. I looked at the door with curiosity. I saw a group of people walk in from outside. Among them were 3 unfamiliar faces. As I looked at them, they were also sizing me up from head to toe. One of them had a cute appearance. She seemed friendly and spoke up. This must be brother-in-law, right? Hello. My name is Zhang Wenqing. I am a close friend of Sister Luo Yan's. I was stunned for a moment. Hello, I am Jiang Chen. Next to Zhang Wenqing was a girl with a scholarly air. Hello, brother-in-law. I am Ji Siking. I am also a close friend of Sister Luo Yan's. Hello. The last unfamiliar face looked a bit cool. Hello, brother-in-law. I am Gu Shui. Hello. Zhang Wenqing spoke with a smile. We heard a while ago that Sister Wenris' little brother had been found. We wanted to come and see him right away, but Sister Luo Yan and Sister Wanro absolutely refused to let us. Today, we finally caught our chance. Jiang Wanro shot Zhang Wenqing a glare. I chuckled. Just let them be. Zhang Wenqing slapped her forehead. She took a small cloth pouch from her bag. Brother-in-law, I almost forgot this. A meeting gift. I said thank you, took the pouch, and opened it to look. Half the pouch was filled with sparkling diamonds. The kind of diamonds that sold for an exorbitant price outside. Now I had half a small pouch of them in my hand. I can't comprehend the world of the rich. After Zhang Wenqing gave her meeting gift, Ji Siqing and Gu Shu gave theirs as well. Zhang Wanqing giving half a pouch of small diamonds didn't seem like a big deal to her. Brother-in-law, if you like them. I still have more. No, it's okay. This many diamonds is more than I can ever use. A look of regret flashed across Zhang Wanqing's face, but she quickly spoke up again. Brother-in-law, do you like golden horses? I still have some. Jiang Wanru slapped the back of Zhang Wanqing's neck. Does my family not have money to buy those things? Zhang Wanqing laughed, rubbing the back of her neck without getting angry. I just wanted to make a good impression on brother-in-law. 2 days later, I packed a few sets of clothes. Then I went out to the club with my eldest brother and sister. As soon as Bai Luoyan got in the car, she took out her laptop to handle work. I secretly watched Bai Luoyan across from me, having to handle work even during the holidays, as expected of the CEO of a large company. It's not a job anyone can do. The car drove for about an hour. Finally, it stopped in front of a magnificent and splendid hot spring club. As soon as I got out of the car, I was taken aback by the exterior. The club's sparkling golden appearance was stunning. I followed them as they navigated the familiar path, leading into the club's lobby. The interior decoration was the same as the outside. Everywhere exuded one word: wealth. A middle-aged man in a suit came to greet us. He led our group inside, to a private elevator up to the 8th floor. When we arrived at the private room, Ji Siqing, Zhang Wanqing, and Gu Shuwei were already there. After resting for a while, Bai Yuzi and Jiang Yang eagerly pulled me to the private hot spring. This was my first time experiencing a hot spring. I leaned comfortably against the edge of the pool. Next to us was the private hot spring for women. The two sides were separated by a wall over 2 meters high. It was private enough, but you could still hear the commotion from the other side. I finished soaking and got out of the pool. At the same time, Bai Luoyan also came out from the women's bathing area. We met in the hallway. You're done soaking too? Bai Luoyan quietly averted her gaze. MHM. Are you going back to your room? I want to go change. Coincidentally, I have to go back too. Let's go together. The two of us walked side by side down the hall. Suddenly, from behind came the sound of hurried footsteps. Bai Luoyan turned her head to look. She pulled me into her arms. A woman rushed past. I was suddenly pulled into her embrace. One of my hands accidentally landed on her chest. I could feel the warmth of Bai Luoyan's skin. The heart under my palm was beating furiously. I frantically pulled my hand back. I just felt my whole body flush with heat. Bai Luoyan let go of me, her voice a little shy. Let's go. I had just regained my footing when suddenly a strong force hit me from behind. I was bumped on the ankle and accidentally twisted it. The one who bumped into me was a little boy. Seeing that had caused trouble, he stood aside nervously. I waved my hand to tell the boy to go. Bai Luoyan frowned and crouched down in front of me. Her fingers gently touched my ankle. It sprained. Without any hesitation, Bai Luoyan lifted my arm onto her shoulder, her hand supporting my waist. She helped me walk forward. When we reached the door of my room, I realized my room card was with my eldest brother. Bai Luoyan only hesitated for a moment. Then she took me to her room. Beep. The door opened. Bai Luoyan helped me onto the bed. My eyes scanned the room. Bai Luoyan had changed into a set of casual clothes. In her casual clothes, Bai Luoyan didn't have her usual cold demeanor, adding a touch of everyday warmth. She walked to the bedside and crouched down. She reached out and took my ankle. Bai Luoyan's warm palm. The moment it touched my ankle, I instinctively flinched. The next second, she held it firmly. Don't move. Let me see. I could feel Bai Luoyan's warm hand massaging my ankle. It's me. It's okay. It's just a slight sprain. It doesn't hurt. Hiss. A low chuckle was heard. I felt like I had just been slapped in the face. My ears turned redder and redder. Bai Luoyan simply checked it for me. Finding it was just a mild sprain, she breathed a sigh of relief. Bai Luoyan took out a bottle of safflower oil. She poured the oil into her palm and rubbed it to warm it up. Then she gently applied it to my ankle. A wave of warmth spread from my ankle. The pain was gradually subsiding. I looked down at Bai Luoyan, who was intently applying the medicated oil for me. A sweet feeling welled up inside me. Suddenly, Bai Luoyan looked up. Our eyes met directly. I felt a bit shy. I opened my mouth to say something, but suddenly felt warmth on my lips. My mind went blank with a bang. Empty. My just-kissed lips were slightly parted. Bai Luoyan came to her senses, her cheeks instantly flushing red. I am sorry. My first kiss was gone. Just like that. My chaotic mind left me, not knowing what to do next. Seeing that I wasn't saying anything, Bai Luoyan thought I was angry. She looked at me and said apologetically, I am sorry. It's okay. You don't need to apologize. Bai Luoyan's eyes sparkled with tiny flecks of light. You're not angry? I said unnaturally. I am not angry. It's just that you kissed me before I was ready. A rare, fleetingly dazed expression appeared on Bai Luoyan's face. Then the light in her eyes grew brighter and brighter. So, when you're ready, can I kiss you again? My ears were completely red. Bai Luoyan looked into my eyes. Jiang Chen, answer me. I really need your answer. Her clear yet seductive voice echoed in my ear. My Adam's apple bobbed twice. After a long moment, I let out a soft majim. Bai Luoyan smiled. a smile as brilliant as 100 blooming flowers. So, are you ready now? I want to kiss you. I put my hand up to push away Bai Luoyan's approaching face. No, not yet. My panicked eyes darted around. Bai Luoyan still had a smile on her lips. I am sorry. I was too hasty. After saying that, Bai Luoyan turned and went into the bathroom to wash her hands. I let out a long sigh of relief. I secretly touched my just-kissed lips. After that kiss, the atmosphere in the room had become a little ambiguous, especially since I was still wearing a bathrobe. Sitting on the bed in Bai Luoyan's bedroom, Jiang found the room card and pulled Bai Yuzi along. They returned to the 8th floor, only to find the door to my room deserted. Instead, the door to Bai Luoyan's room across the hall was open. The two of them peeked inside and saw me sitting on the sofa in Bai Luoyan's room watching TV, while Bai Luoyan sat to one side. Neatly dressed, she was working on her laptop. Jiang and Bai Yuzi glanced at each other and quietly left. Perhaps it was because I had soaked in the hot spring. I fell asleep as soon as I closed my eyes. After Bai Luoyan finished her work, she looked up and saw me sleeping. She placed the laptop from her lap onto the coffee table. Then she gently closed the bedroom door. Then she returned to the sofa to cover me with a blanket. Just as Bai Luoyan was about to leave, her hand was suddenly grabbed by me. Bai Luoyan thought I had woken up, but when she turned back, my eyes were still closed. Bai Luoyan tried to pull her hand back, but found she couldn't. A smile graced her lips. Bai Luoyan lay down beside me. When I woke up, the room was pitch black. I sat up, thinking I was back in my own room. It wasn't until I got out of bed that I realized I was still in a bathrobe. So I prepared to turn on the light to find some clothes. The light came on, and I realized this wasn't my room. My mind went blank for a few seconds. A soft knock on the door brought my thoughts back. The next second, I heard the voice of Bai Luoyan from the door. Jiang Chen. Are you awake? Your brother brought your clothes. I've hung them on the door. Go get them. Change and then come out to eat something. After changing, I opened the door and went out again. As soon as I stepped out, I smelled the delicious aroma of food. For a moment, I felt like I could eat an entire cow. Bai Luoyan looked up from the computer in front of her. Seeing me, the corners of her mouth lifted into a smile. Let's eat something together. I nodded. I went to the dining table and sat down. Then I saw Bai Luoyan. You haven't eaten either. I just took a nap. I instinctively assumed that Bai Luoyan had been resting inside. Bai Luoyan reached up to rub the back of her neck. Seeing that, I asked, what's wrong? Didn't you sleep well? It was indeed a little uncomfortable. Then, Bai Luoyan's lips curved slightly. How could you have slept well? I slept very well. It's just that, there seemed to be mosquitoes. Bai Luoyan raised an eyebrow. Mosquitoes? When I was changing earlier, I noticed a few mosquito bites a few inches below my collarbone. They're red and small, but they don't seem to itch much. I probably dreamt I was bitten by mosquitoes. I waved my hand, feigning indifference. I didn't suspect Bai Luoyan at all, nor did I notice the meaningful look in Bai Luoyan's eyes. After eating, I took my room card and went back to my room. Bai Luoyan watched me return to my room before closing her door. Because I had already slept, I was wide awake. I was scrolling through my phone by the bed when there was suddenly a knock on the door. Brother. Yuzi. Why are you two still awake? I stepped aside to let them in. Bai Yuzi raised his eyebrows and said, Brother Chen, aren't you also still awake? I was taken aback. I felt that the way Bai Yuzi said awake sounded a little ambiguous. Just thinking about how Jiang had brought me my clothes earlier, I immediately understood that my sleeping in Bai Luoyan's room was already known to these two. I just simply took a nap in Bai Luoyan's room, that's all. Jiang, Bai Yuzi. I just took a simple nap. Seeing their disbelieving faces, I got a little anxious. It's true, I just simply fell asleep. All right. We believe you, okay. Anyway, you and Bai Luoyan will end up together eventually. I wanted to explain, but I didn't know what to say. My eldest brother put his arm around my shoulder. All right, we really do believe you. Want something to drink? I was indeed a bit thirsty. What should we drink? Jiang and Bai Yuzi looked at each other and smiled. They led me to the small bar on the 8th floor. Zhang, Wanqing, and the others were there too. After seeing me arrive, my eldest sister took a few steps forward. Little Chen, are you okay? I was confused by the question, thinking she knew about me. Spraining my ankle. Sis, I am fine now. Zhang Wenqing stood behind the small bar, shaker in hand. Brother-in-law, what would you like to drink? I looked at the colorful red and green liquids in the glasses. Give me a low-alcohol one. I've never drunk before. Zhang Wenqing flashed her pearly whites. Sure thing. Then she began to skillfully mix the drink. She even deliberately performed a few difficult moves. I was dazzled watching her. I showed my appreciation by clapping and whistling. Zhang Wenqing performed even more enthusiastically. A gradient blue cocktail was pushed in front of me. Brother-in-law, try it. This drink doesn't have high alcohol content. I picked up the glass, smelled it first, then drank it in one go. After finishing it, I still felt like it wasn't enough. After her bath, Bai Luoyan also planned to come out for a few drinks, but as soon as she entered, she saw me slumped over the small bar. She quickly walked over. Jiang Chen. Bai Luoyan looked at Zhang Wenqing with a slightly cold gaze. What happened? Zhang Wenqing awkwardly touched her nose. Sister Luoyan. I really didn't know brother-in-law's alcohol tolerance was this bad. Bai Luoyan looked at the dozen or so glasses on the bar. Did he drink all of these? Zhang Wenqing immediately shook her head. Bai Luoyan's voice was a bit cold. How many did he drink? Zhang Wenqing slowly raised one finger. Bai Luoyan's gaze grew colder. 10 glasses? 1. 1 glass. Bai Luoyan's expression froze. She suspected she had misheard. He drank 1 glass and got this drunk. It wasn't just Bai Luoyan. The others who had witnessed the whole thing were also stunned. Bai Luoyan frowned. Then why didn't you help him back to his room to rest, just leaving him slumped here? As she said that, Bai Luoyan reached out to help me up. Zhang Wenqing hurriedly reached out to stop her. Sister Luoyan, don't. But the imagined scene didn't happen. Bai Luoyan had very successfully helped me up. Zhang Wenqing frustratedly withdrew her hand. Impossible. At this moment, a voice full of gritted teeth was heard. On what basis can you touch him? But I can't. Bai Luoyan turned her head and saw Zhang Wenru sitting to one side. Bai Luoyan frowned. What's wrong with your face? The others, who were trying to hold back their laughter, finally couldn't hold it in any longer. They all burst out laughing. It turned out that earlier, Zhang Wenru had also wanted to help me back to my room. But as soon as her hand touched my shoulder, I had given her a resounding slap. No one could get close to me. That's why everyone left me at the small bar. They just never expected that as soon as Bai Luoyan appeared. Getting close was fine, reaching out was fine, hugging me was fine. Knowing this truth, Bai Luoyan smiled. Who wouldn't like this kind of unique favoritism? Zhang Wenru reached out her hand. Give me my brother. Ill taken back, Bai Luoyan glanced at her. Then she looked at me, quietly with my eyes closed. She gently transferred me into Jiang Wenru's arms. Before Jiang Wenru's smile could even bloom, I slapped her across the face again. After a moment of shock from everyone, came laughter so loud it could have torn the roof off. The laughter woke me from my drunken state. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw Bai Luoyan's beautiful face. My gaze shifted up and saw Bai Luoyan. Behind that smiling face, I smiled too. I reached out and cupped Bai Luoyan's cheeks. Bai Luoyan, you're so beautiful. Good. Jiang Chen, I'll take you. Before Bai Luoyan could finish her sentence, I had already kissed her alluring red lips. Hehe, I got to kiss you. My drunken voice rang out. The small bar immediately fell into a dead silence. Bai Luoyan was stunned for a moment, then pursed her lips. She looked up. Her face was expressionless. I am taking Jiang Chen back to his room. With that, without giving anyone a chance to speak, she helped me leave the bar. After returning to my room, Bai Luoyan didn't leave right away. Recalling the kiss just now, the corner of Bai Luoyan's mouth curved up slightly. Her gaze rested on my thin lips. Bai Luoyan slowly leaned down. Just when her thin lips were only a centimeter from mine, she stopped. Our breaths mingled. The fresh scent of cedar mixed with the faint aroma of alcohol made even Bai Luoyan a little dizzy. Never mind. I'll let you off today. Just as Bai Luoyan finished saying let me off, I suddenly moved forward. Our lips touched once again. Something flashed in the depths of Bai Luoyan's eyes. This time, she no longer held back, kissing me fiercely. I dreamt I was floating and rolling on the clouds. Suddenly, some rude birds came to bother me, so I slapped one away. I was having a great time hitting them. Then I saw Bai Luoyan arrive. She was wearing a white outfit, looking ethereal and fairy-like. I was captivated. Bai Luoyan reached out and hugged me. I didn't struggle at all. But suddenly, someone else came. They wanted to snatch me from Bai Luoyan's arms, without a second thought. I gave the person a resounding slap. That person was slapped away. I felt incredibly happy, so I turned back and kissed Bai Luoyan. I don't remember what happened after that. When I regained consciousness, I felt a little short of breath. I let out a soft, uncomfortable groan. Immediately after, Bai Luoyan's voice sounded in my ear. Breathe. Silly Jiang Chen. I obediently took a breath, but my breath was stolen away again. In a daze, I opened my eyes and saw Bai Luoyan kissing me. So it was Bai Luoyan kissing me. That's good then, as long as it wasn't someone else. After that, I completely lost consciousness. Bai Luoyan was a little lost in the kiss. When she finished, she realized I had fallen asleep. Bai Luoyan laughed, not expecting me to fall asleep. Her slender white finger gently traced my lips. She suppressed the urge to kiss me again. Bai Luoyan tucked me in again. Then she stood up and strode out of the room. She composed herself for a moment in the outer room. Then she pushed the door open. A few figures tumbled in. It turned out to be Jiang Wenru and the others, who had come to eavesdrop. Jiang Wenru's gaze shifted too. Bai Luoyan's obviously swollen and red lips. You, Bai Luoyan. You kissed my brother. Bai Luoyan's expression was calm. It was Jiang Chen who initiated it. Shameless Bai Luoyan. I never thought you'd be this kind of person. You took advantage of my brother while he was drunk. Bai Luoyan's expression remained unchanged. I did not. Jiang Wanru was so angry she wanted to charge forward and hit someone, but she was immediately held back by Zhang Wangqing and the others. Jiang Yang was worried everyone would wake me up. Yuzi and I will stay and take care of little Chen tonight. Everyone else can go wherever you want. Just don't stay here. After saying that, Jiang Yang closed the door. Jiang Wanru and the others stood in the hallway, looking at each other. Jiang Wanru angrily glared at Bai Luoyan. Let's go drink. Don't you dare run tonight. Well, have a competition. Bai Luoyan's expression didn't change as she nodded. All right. Zhang Wangqing loved drama and making things bigger than they were. Soon, in front of the two of them, 10 glasses of alcohol were neatly arranged. Each one was full. Jiang Wanru picked up a glass, the corner of her mouth twitching. She shot Bai Luoyan a provocative look. Well, Bai Luoyan also picked up the first glass in front of her. She lightly clinked glasses with Jiang Wanru, then tilted her head back and drank it all. Next was the second glass. The third glass. The two of them, one glass after another, just kept drinking, as if what was in the glasses wasn't alcohol, but water. Zhang Wenqing and Ji Siqing cheered from the side. Go Shu shook her head, watching the way the two of them were drinking. At the end of that day, the only sober person in the bar was 1.5 people. One was Gu Shue. The other half was Bai Luoyan. After taking the 3 drunk people back to their rooms, Gu Shu walked Bai Luoyan back to her room. Gu Shu said to Bai Luoyan. Bai Luoyan turned back, still with that cold expression, but there was a hint of red at the corner of her eye. Gu Shu smiled. I am very happy to see you found true love. Treat him well. MHM. I will. I woke up early in the morning with a throbbing headache. I struggled to sit up, and saw Jiang Yang and Bai Yuzi sleeping next to me. The two of them were hugging each other, sleeping soundly. I tried to remember what had happened last night. I only remembered that I seemed to have drunk alcohol, and then I apparently got drunk. I had never drunk before, so I didn't know my tolerance, but I never expected my tolerance to be this bad. 1 glass. Just 1 glass. And I was out. I ruffled my slightly messy short hair. A few fragmented images from last night vaguely appeared in my mind. It seems I hit someone after getting drunk. I don't remember who I hit specifically. I quickly turned to check the 2 people sleeping beside me. There were no handprints on their faces, so I probably didn't hit Jiang Yang or Bai Yuzi. I secretly sighed in relief. I tried to remember a little more. Then I remembered that dream, and the scene of me actively kissing Bai Luoyan in the dream. Could it be that I really kissed Bai Luoyan? Brother Chen. What are you muttering about? Turning my head, I met Bai Yuzi's sleepy eyes. I felt a bit guilty. Nothing. You can go back to sleep. Bai Yuzi wasn't polite about it and really did lie down to sleep again. I got out of bed and started my morning routine. While washing my face, I noticed my mouth was a little swollen. The image of kissing Bai Luoyan flooded my mind again. Did I really kiss Bai Luoyan? This question was confirmed after Jiang Yang and Bai Yuzi woke up, learning that I had really hit someone, but also hit my own sister. Jiang Wanru. I was stunned. Did I really hit someone? I recalled the scene from last night. Jiang Yang and Bai Yuzi couldn't stop laughing. Both of them were rolling on the bed with laughter. I felt extremely embarrassed hearing it. Jiang Yang put his arm around my shoulder. Don't worry, sister won't blame you. Although Jiang Yang and Bai Yuzi advised me so, I was still a little worried. I had done something wrong, so I had to find a way to make up for it. I decided to borrow the kitchen on the 8th floor to cook something for Jiang Wanru. As an apology to Jiang Wanru, I finished cooking and came out, but I couldn't find anyone on the 8th floor. While I was wondering, Gu Shue came out. Are you looking for Jiang Wanru and the others? They're all drunk. They're probably still sleeping now. Drunk. My sister's alcohol tolerance isn't that bad. How much did they drink last night? A hint of embarrassment appeared on Gu Xu's face. She scratched her face. Not much. But obviously, no one would believe those words. Seeing my frown, Gu Xu hesitated for a moment and then said, Jiang Wanru was a bit bothered that you kissed Bai Luoyan, so she pulled her into a drinking contest. I went back to the kitchen to make some hangover soup for them. I knocked on the door. Sister, are you awake? I listened carefully for any movement in the room, but the soundproofing of this room was too good. I couldn't hear anything. After waiting for a long time, I knocked on the door again. This time, I didn't have to wait long. The door was opened by Jiang Wanru. Jiang Wanru's face was still swollen, and her hair was messy. She had clearly just woken up. It was only at this moment that I believed I had hit my own sister. Sister, I am sorry. Jiang Wanru's mind went blank for a moment. Then she realized I was talking about her face. Then she remembered that I was drunk last night. Hugging Bai Luoyan tightly and even initiating a kiss, her expression turned a little ugly. I sensitively felt that Jiang Wanru's mood wasn't very good. I bowed my head lower. Sister, I am really sorry. I was drunk last night. I didn't know I would hit you like this. She saw me bowing my head in apology. That pitiful appearance made her heart soften. It's all right. I am not mad at you, but let's not touch alcohol anymore in the future. Okay? I hurriedly nodded in agreement. After all, my alcohol tolerance is only 1 glass. Drink some hangover soup, then have something to eat. Jiang Wanru smiled brightly. She was about to step aside to let me in, when suddenly Bei Yusi's voice echoed from the hallway. Something's wrong, my sister, something happened to my sister. As soon as I heard something happened to Bei Luoyan, I pushed the tray in my hands into Jiang Wanru's arms, leaving behind the words, "I am going to check," and turned to run. Jiang Wanru stared blankly at the things in her hands. Then she looked at my back as I ran away without looking back. The corners of her mouth drooped. I burst straight into Bai Luoyan's room and saw Bai Luoyan half leaning against the headboard. Her face was an unnatural shade of red. Hearing the noise, Bai Luoyan looked up. Seeing it was me, the corners of her mouth lifted into a smile. "Why are you here? I heard Yusi say something happened to you, so I came to check." Bai Luoyan glanced at Bai Yusi's gossipy face at the door. Then she told me in a gentle tone, "It's nothing, just a slight cold and a little fever." I immediately placed my hand on Bai Luoyan's forehead. "It's really hot." I frowned and said, "Where's the first aid kit?" Bai Yusi said, "I know where it is. I'll get it." Not long after, Bai Yusi brought a first aid kit. I found a thermometer inside. I shook it and gave it to Bai Luoyan. Bai Luoyan obediently took it and placed it under her arm. Seeing my worried expression, she gently advised, "It's nothing, don't worry." I pressed my lips together and said nothing. I sat by the bed timing the thermometer. Seeing this, Bai Luoyan sighed softly. "Time's up." She took out the thermometer to check. Her expression didn't change until I took it to have a look. My eyes immediately widened. "It's almost 39 degrees. I said anxiously, "This won't do. We're going to the hospital." But Bai Luoyan gently refused. "There's no need. It'll be fine after taking some medicine." "Bai Luoyan, why don't you cherish your body like this?" I saw that Bai Luoyan didn't care about her body and became a little angry. This was the first time I got angry with her. Even Bai Yusi, who was eavesdropping at the door, was frightened. He left quietly. Bai Luoyan maintained the same expression. She reached out to hold my hand, but I dodged. Bai Luoyan still pulled me to sit by her bed. She said gently, "Are you angry?" I was too angry to speak. Seeing this, Bai Luoyan continued to act cute. "I am really fine. I am in great health. I'll definitely get better after taking some medicine and resting." Just then, Bai Yusi barged in, leading what looked like a doctor. "The doctor's here. The doctor's here." The doctor came to the bedside. I wanted to make way, but Bai Luoyan refused to let go of my hand. The doctor briefly examined Bai Luoyan. He frowned and said she probably needed an injection. Without giving Bai Luoyan a chance to refuse, I immediately said, "Give her the shot." "Well, take the shot." But the doctor still glanced at Bai Luoyan. Seeing her nod, the doctor took out from the box he brought the equipment for the injection. I saw that Bai Luoyan still hadn't let go of my hand, so I said, "Let go of my hand." Bai Luoyan smiled, but her hand still didn't let go. "Bai Luoyan, let go of my hand." Bai Luoyan knew full well, but still asked, "Why? If you're getting a shot, I'll stay here and watch." "Actually, I wanted to say that you have to pull down your pants for a shot. Do you want me to stand here and watch?" As a result, the doctor finished preparing the needle, rolled up Bai Luoyan's sleeve, and injected her in the arm. The shot was over very quickly. After finishing the injection, the doctor gave a few instructions and prepared to leave. Before leaving, the doctor added one more sentence. "Actually, fever-reducing shots don't necessarily have to be given in the butt." After saying that, the doctor quickly left, leaving me sitting by the bed with a red face. I wanted to leave, but Bai Luoyan was holding my wrist. I wanted to cover my face, but Bai Luoyan still held my wrist. "Do you feel better after the shot?" Bai Luoyan still seemed a bit unwell. Her beautiful willow-like eyebrows were slightly furrowed, and her voice was very hoarse. I could feel the temperature under my palm getting higher and higher. I was a little worried in my heart. "Your clothes are all wet. Do you need to change?" Bai Luoyan lowered her eyes and glanced at me. Her deep eyes were now twinkling with small sparks of light. "My arms have no strength after the shot. You help me." A sentence that slipped out. I regretted it. I stood up, hurriedly walked into the bathroom, and soon came out with a basin of warm water. "Are your clothes in the closet?" Bai Luoyan leaned weakly against the headboard. Her voice was very soft. I took clean clothes from the closet. I glanced at the underwear drawer and hesitated a little. Then I closed the closet door. I waited for Bai Luoyan to undress herself, but Bai Luoyan had no intention of doing it herself. "Aren't you going to change?" "My arms have no strength." I hesitated for a few seconds and sat down next to Bai Luoyan. My fingers moved towards the buttons of her pajamas. Finally, I suddenly thought of something and said, "How about I get your best friend to come over?" But Bai Luoyan looked disappointed. "I think my arms have a little strength now. I'll change myself." I hurried away. There was no sign of Bai Yusi in the outer room. I thought Bai Luoyan probably hadn't eaten, so I went to the kitchen again. After wiping herself down, Bai Luoyan lay quietly on the bed, drowsily wanting to sleep. So she closed her eyes, letting herself drift off to dreamland. But just as she was dozing off, she heard a noise from the outer room. So she slowly opened her eyes, I walked in carrying a tray. Bai Luoyan was half leaning against the headboard. I thought Jiang Chen wasn't going to care about me anymore. I just went to cook something for you. You probably haven't eaten, have you? I have no appetite. This was the truth. Bai Luoyan didn't get sick often, but right now she had no desire to eat at all. I looked awkwardly at the bowl of millet porridge I had prepared. How about you? Eat a little? Bai Luoyan didn't say anything, just stared at me. I hesitated a bit. Let me feed you. A smile suddenly appeared at the corners of Bai Luoyan's mouth. Then I'll have to trouble my Jiang Chen. I felt a little embarrassed by her words. I picked up the bowl of millet porridge, scooped a spoonful, and blew on it gently. Then I brought it to Bai Luoyan's lips. Bai Luoyan opened her mouth and ate it almost without hesitation. Seeing that she ate with gusto, I scooped another spoonful and blew on it. Then I brought it to her mouth. Spoon after spoon like that. The bowl of millet porridge was finished. Do you want to eat a little more? Bai Luoyan gently shook her head. I nodded and didn't insist. I put the empty bowl aside. You should get some sleep. I saw you seemed a bit sleepy just now. If I fall asleep, will you leave? I froze. Seeing me hesitate, Bai Luoyan lowered her eyes, her tone casual. It's okay. You've worked hard taking care of me all this time. Go back and rest. I am fine. I looked at her still pale face, and my heart softened. I am not leaving. I'll stay with you. I don't feel at ease leaving you alone in the room. Can I go eat first, and then come back? Okay, go quickly. I took the tray outside to eat. I had been busy all morning and hadn't eaten anything yet. The others were also eating at the restaurant at this time. Seeing me appear at the door, everyone looked up towards the door. Jiang Yang and Bai Yuci looked behind me, but didn't see Bai Luoyan. Brother Chen, where's my sister? I said. Your sister fell asleep right after eating. Oh, so she's okay then? I shook my head. Much better. Ill. Go check on her after I finish eating. Hearing that I still had to go check on her later, Jiang Wanru was a little unhappy. She thought for a moment and said, Little Chen, Bai Luoyan's health is very good. She works out all year round. Her physique is top-notch. It's just a slight cold. It's nothing. A single man and woman alone. It won't be good for your reputation. I knew she was right, but I still couldn't help but worry, especially since Bai Luoyan had a fever of 39 degrees just now. I really wasn't at ease at all. I planned to hide it from my sister. I would secretly go take care of Bai Luoyan later. On the surface, I agreed. After eating, I said, I also felt a little unwell. Then I returned to my room. The others also had their own things to do and returned to their rooms. I kept paying attention to the movements in the hallway. Seeing that everyone had returned to their rooms, I stealthily opened my door. I used Bai Luoyan's room card to secretly open her door, then I snuck inside. I tiptoed into the inner room and saw Bai Luoyan, who was supposed to be resting, was now leaning against the headboard, with a laptop on her lap. I frowned and said, Why aren't you resting? Bai Luoyan saw me. The corner of her mouth lifted slightly. She patted the spot next to her. I sat down there and glanced at the laptop. It was all documents I didn't understand. I frowned and said, You're sick. Why can't you rest properly? Bai Luoyan gave an apologetic smile. It's urgent work. Actually, I didn't want to blame Bai Luoyan. I just felt heartache. Others only see the glamorous exterior of a wealthy heir. They never think that beneath that glamorous exterior is a level of effort far exceeding that of an ordinary person. Bai Luoyan heard the sadness in my voice. She put the laptop aside and hugged my arm, leaning against me. Her glistening, teary eyes looked at me, and I immediately softened. I am fine, just sighing a little. Hurry up and work. But I am only giving you half an hour. Bai Luoyan picked up her laptop again and started working, while I sat quietly beside her for company. In less than half an hour, Bai Luoyan had finished her work. I immediately put the computer away. Then I pushed Bai Luoyan straight down onto the bed. I took Bai Luoyan's temperature. It had dropped to 38 degrees. It seems the fever-reducing shot worked. Hurry and rest. I'll be here with you. Don't worry. I won't go anywhere. Bai Luoyan said nothing, but the curve of her lips revealed her happy mood. Bai Luoyan slowly closed her eyes and soon fell asleep. I helped Bai Luoyan tuck in the blanket. I sat right by the bed, one hand propping up my chin. I stared unblinkingly at the sleeping Bai Luoyan. Bai Luoyan looked a bit more gentle when asleep than when awake. My gaze swept over every feature of Bai Luoyan's face. The more I looked, the more beautiful she seemed. After watching for a while, I actually fell asleep by the bed. After I fell sound asleep, Bai Luoyan slowly opened her eyes. When I woke up again, it was because I was hot. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw a charming neck. Its owner seemed a little hot. A glistening drop of sweat happened to roll by. I looked up and unexpectedly met a pair of deep, dark eyes. I was just about to open my mouth when I felt my lips being kissed. A burning heat was transmitted to me through our lips. I realized Bai Luoyan seemed to have a fever again. This temperature was clearly even higher than before. I wanted to push Bai Luoyan away, but Bai Luoyan held me very tightly, seemingly dissatisfied with my struggle. Bai Luo Yan flipped over and pinned me right beneath her. She leaned down to kiss me again. Because Bai Luo Yan was still sick, I couldn't bear to push her away. The room was pitch black. I couldn't see Bai Luo Yan's expression clearly. I also didn't know what time it was. We kissed for a long time. Bai Luo Yan seemed to have sobered up a bit. In the darkness, she looked at me quietly. After a long time, she softly said, "I am sorry." Then she rolled off the bed and rushed into the bathroom. I was stunned on the bed. It wasn't until I heard the sound of rushing water in the bathroom that I came back to my senses. I sat up and turned on the bedside lamp. It was already 6 p.m. It was already completely dark outside. Remembering the scene of us kissing in the dark just now, it kept replaying in my mind. My ears turned bright red. I felt a change in a certain part of my body as well. It was too dark to see anything just now. Only the senses were at their sharpest. I clearly remembered Bai Luo Yan's kiss, her temperature, her breath. When Bai Luo Yan went into the bathroom, I had also calmed down. I got out of bed. I sat on the nearby sofa waiting for Bai Luo Yan to come out. A moment later, Bai Luo Yan's hoarse voice came from the bathroom. "Jiang Chen, can you get me a set of clothes?" Okay. I familiarized myself with the path to the wardrobe and took out a set of clothes. This time, she hesitated for a moment. She quickly picked an item from the drawer and stuffed it into the clothes. Then, pretending like nothing happened, I walked to the bathroom door. "I've brought the clothes." The bathroom door opened a crack. I turned my face away and handed the clothes to Bai Luo Yan. Then I quickly walked away. The bathroom door closed again. Not long after, Bai Luo Yan came out, fully dressed. I handed her the thermometer. "Take your temperature." Bai Luo Yan obediently took the thermometer and put it under her arm. The waiting time always feels particularly long. As soon as the time was up, I was eager to see. In contrast, the patient, Bai Luo Yan, leisurely took out the thermometer. After seeing the temperature on the thermometer, I breathed a sigh of relief. The fever's gone down. Bai Luo Yan listened quietly, saying nothing. I looked at Bai Luo Yan. The recent event involuntarily came to mind. I suddenly felt I couldn't stay here any longer. "If you're okay now, then I..." Before I could finish my sentence, Bai Luo Yan reached out and took my hand. Her pitiful eyes looked at me. "Jiang Chen, the 2 times I kissed you without permission before. Are you angry?" I was stunned. Then my ears immediately turned red. "I am not angry. I know you weren't sober then." "It wasn't that I wasn't sober. Little Chen, I want to kiss you. I always have." Bai Luo Yan's slightly hoarse voice echoed in my ear. Bai Luo Yan's directness left me, a little unsure of what to say. "Oh," after saying that, I looked away from her. Bai Luo Yan raised an eyebrow. "What does Jiang Chen's O mean? Does it mean you know I've always wanted to kiss you, or that you actually want me to kiss you too?" My Adam's apple bobbed twice. I sighed and said helplessly, "Some things you know them yourself. It's enough to quietly keep them in your heart. Don't say them out loud." I didn't see Bai Luo Yan next to me. The corners of her mouth were curving up crazily. Suddenly, Bai Luo Yan rushed forward to get closer. "Then let's kiss." Bai Luo Yan looked at me without saying anything. She slowly closed her eyes in front of me. I placed one hand on the back of her neck. My lips pressed directly against hers. This kiss was different from any before. It was as if I was slowly savoring a wonderful delicacy, meticulously feeling the taste within it. We kissed for a very, very long time. So long that when we separated, both of us were slightly out of breath. Bai Luo Yan rested her forehead against mine. My fingers gently caressed her lips. I spoke. "They say a cold is most contagious when you're about to get better." Bai Luo Yan was stunned for a moment, then burst out laughing. She hugged my waist. She buried herself in my arms. I didn't understand what Bai Luo Yan was laughing about, but I still obediently let her hug me. In my heart, however, I was thinking about something else. Should Bai Luo Yan and I change our relationship a little? This ambiguity doesn't seem very good. Seeing me thinking, Bai Luo Yan spoke gently. "What is Jiang Chen thinking about?" "I am thinking about our relationship. Should we take it a step further?" Seeing that Bai Luo Yan didn't answer, I explained on my own. "I've already let go of Shen Xiao Wei. My heart is empty now. I think I still have. For you." Bai Luo Yan's finger gently placed on my lips. "Jiang Chen, let me be the one to confess." I was just about to explain, when Bai Luo Yan's gentle voice sounded, "Jiang Chen, from the first moment I met you, I fell in love with you at first sight. Will you be my boyfriend? Let me pamper you, love you. Date me with marriage in mind, okay?" I didn't expect Bai Luo Yan to be so serious. Seeing the sparkling light in her eyes, I was moved too. "Okay, I agree to be with you." Bai Luo Yan smiled. She reached out and hugged me tightly. I reached out and lifted Bai Luo Yan's face and kissed her lips. Bai Luo Yan wrapped her arms around my neck. A lingering, passionate kiss. When we separated, both of our lips held a smile. Bai Luo Yan said, "Didn't you say kissing would spread the sickness?" I said with amusement. "Didn't the previous kisses spread it? You've already infected me. What's one more time?" Bai Luo Yan laughed. She nodded in agreement. Jiang Chen is right. After she spoke, the two looked at each other and smiled. When I left Bai Luo Yan's room, As soon as I opened the door, I saw Jiang Wenru. On Jiang Ruo's face was an as-expected expression. She turned her head to look at Bei Luo Yan beside me. She sneered coldly. Oh. Well, looking across this entire city, only you are barely worthy of my younger brother. Your business with my brother? As his sister? I approve. Bei Luo Yan smiled lightly. Is it your turn to disagree? I looked at Bei Luo Yan, then at Jiang Wenru. Seeing them reconcile, I was very happy. Sister, Bei Luo Yan and I are together now. Don't bully her anymore in the future. Everyone exclaimed in surprise. What? You two are together? It startled me. Bai Luo Yan gave them an unhappy look. We've just confirmed our relationship. We've already kissed. I have to take responsibility. Jiang Wanrao looked at me with a complicated expression. Little Chen, maybe we should reconsider. I looked at Bai Luo Yan behind me and said with some difficulty. Bai Luo Yan is right. We've already kissed. Wouldn't it be a bit scummy not to define the relationship? Bai Luo Yan's constitution was indeed very good. The next day, she had fully recovered. The hot spring trip was also coming to an end. The night before we left, I decided to go for another hot spring soak. After all, I had been here for several days, and I had only enjoyed it once. A pool this big, and I was the only one in it. It felt like I had booked the whole place. I comfortably leaned against the edge of the pool. Soaking in the warm water, I let out a satisfied sigh. The private bath was also playing melodious music. I closed my eyes. My hands rested on the edge of the hot spring pool. My fingers gently tapped along with the rhythm. Because I was so engrossed in the soak, I didn't notice at all that someone had sneaked into the private bath and was tiptoeing towards the hot spring pool. In the hazy steam, a slender figure vaguely appeared. That person quietly got into the water. I heard a sound. I reflexively turned my head to look, but I didn't see anyone. I turned my head back in confusion, but not long after, there was another sound behind me. I turned to look again. Still, there was no one. When I heard a movement behind me for the third time, I didn't turn around hastily, but waited quietly for a moment. Then I suddenly turned around. Damn it, I cursed. I reflexively took a step back. As a result, I stumbled and was about to fall into the water. Suddenly, I felt my arm being grabbed by a soft hand. Bai Luo Yan stood behind me and hugged my waist. I blinked at her and asked, Bai Luo Yan, how did you get in here? This is the men's bath. I know. You knew and you still came in. What if? I knew Jiang, Yang and the others weren't coming. So I followed you in. I was a bit speechless. Even if I am the only one here, you still can't come in. Bai Luo Yan's expression was a bit serious. Jiang Chen, you might not believe it, but I've been feeling a bit uneasy. That's why I followed you. I saw she was being serious, so I didn't say anything more. At this very moment, a blood-curdling scream shattered the tranquility of the hot spring resort. Bai Luo Yan immediately pulled me ashore. It was only then that I noticed what Bai Luo Yan was wearing. It wasn't hot spring attire at all. After going outside, the hallways were filled with people running in panic. Those people all ran out while soaking in the hot springs, so everyone was disheveled. Some people were even completely naked. Not far away, a frantic woman was wielding a fruit knife and injuring others. Ji Qing was the owner of the hot spring resort. Hearing that a bloody incident had occurred at the hot springs, he immediately brought security guards over. Seeing Ji Qing arrive with people, Bai Luo Yan stopped caring and pulled me, intending to leave. Suddenly, another woman with a knife rushed out from the side. Bai Luo Yan reacted quickly. A spinning kick knocked the person to the ground. I looked at her with a worried expression. Are you okay? I should have handled that. What if you got hurt? Bai Luo Yan chuckled. Jiang Chen, are you worried about me? I am a black belt in Taekwondo. I am fine, don't worry. I shot her a glare. Ji Qing led the security guards to tie the person up. Bai Luo Yan's expression turned extremely serious. Have you investigated clearly? How did these two get in here? Speaking of this, Ji Qing's expression also became extremely serious. Sister Go is helping with the interrogation. I believe we'll have results soon. Knowing he could handle it well, Bai Luo Yan and I prepared to go upstairs to our rooms. At this time, Bai Yuci and Jiang Yang had heard about the incident downstairs and were preparing to go down and see. The elevator doors opened, and they saw me and Bai Luo Yan. After Bai Luo Yan told them about the situation downstairs, they relaxed. Suddenly, Bai Yuci exclaimed in surprise, Whoa, Brother Chen, why is there blood on your clothes? Everyone's eyes focused on me. I was about to explain that it wasn't my blood, when Bai Luo Yan pulled me quickly towards the room. Bai Luo Yan pushed me down on the bed and checked me herself. At the door, my sister hadn't left because she was worried about my condition. Seeing Bai Luo Yan and me come out, Jiang Wanru hurriedly asked, How is it? Are you injured? I said helplessly, Sister, don't worry. I am fine. That blood isn't mine. I probably got it on me by accident just now. That's good. That's good. Since something like this happened here, we should head back early. Everyone discussed it and felt it was feasible, so they packed their things and left immediately. Gushu and Zhang Wanqing stayed at the hot spring resort to help handle the aftermath. The GC Qing family is powerful and influential. Plus, Gu Shuwei is a third-generation military member. Finding out the identities of those two crazy people was very easy. Through investigation, the two crazy people with fruit knives who appeared at the hot spring resort were a mother and daughter pair. Their family company was on the verge of bankruptcy. The daughter's biological father had taken all the remaining money and fled. The two of them were extremely desperate. Their mentality also became twisted. Then they happened to find out that the man who ran off with the money hadn't left, but had gone with his mistress to the GC Qing family's hot spring resort. That's why this mother and daughter disguised themselves and infiltrated the resort. The first woman to be harmed was that mistress. After seriously injuring that woman, the mother and daughter suddenly went crazy and began to attack the guests in the resort indiscriminately. This malicious incident caused considerable losses for GC Qing's hot spring resort. GC Qing felt that the resort being stained with blood was unlucky. After careful consideration, he closed the resort. After I heard this news, I sighed once again. I don't understand the world of the rich. When I learned the cause and effect, I was sitting on the sofa with Bai Luoyan. Bai Luoyan was lying on my lap. I looked at Bai Luoyan and asked, Bai Luoyan, if I did something to wrong you, how would you treat me? A faint smile appeared on the corner of Bai Luoyan's mouth as she looked up at me. You want to know? I was stunned and forced a smile. Suddenly, I don't want to know anymore. It's better if I don't know. My instincts felt a bit of danger. I wanted to run, but Bai Luoyan hugged my waist tightly, and I immediately lost my nerve. I quickly admitted my mistake. I am sorry. I shouldn't have asked such questions. Bai Luoyan let out a soft laugh. Is Jiang Chen afraid of what he'll do? I smiled and teased. Yeah, I am afraid you'll skin me alive. Bai Luoyan sat up. Facing me, she cupped my face with both hands. I wouldn't go as far as skinning you alive, but I will slowly, bit by bit, eat you. How I eat you will be up to me. I reached out and covered Bai Luoyan's mouth. Bai Luoyan reached out and gently caressed my face. Her gentle voice said, Jiang Chen, I won't let you leave me. After saying that, Bai Luoyan lowered her head and gently kissed my lips. I also began to respond to Bai Luoyan. Receiving my response, the corners of Bai Luoyan's mouth curled up slightly. After a kiss, Bai Luoyan rested her forehead against mine. Jiang Chen, I like you so much. I coughed unnaturally twice. It's late. You should go home. Bai Luoyan looked at me deeply, nodded. Okay, then I'll go home. I personally walked her to the door. Clearly, Bai Luoyan lived right across from me, but I still felt reluctant to let her go. Seeing that I kept holding her hand and wouldn't let go, Bai Luoyan smiled. She stood on her tiptoes, kissed my cheek, and gave a happy smile. Good night. I was reluctant to let go. Good night. Bai Luoyan walked towards the hallway. The next day, I went downstairs enthusiastically, greeting every family member. Everyone noticed my cheerful mood. Dad spoke up and asked, Little Chen, you seem very happy today. Is today a special day? Before I could even open my mouth, Jiang Wanru's gloomy voice sounded from the side. Today, Little Chen is going for an interview at the Fuji Group. As soon as Jiang Wanru mentioned it, Dad remembered. Because I didn't want any special treatment, I went for the interview at the Fuji Group following the normal procedure. First, I submitted my resume. After it was approved, I went to the company for an interview, and to avoid revealing my identity as the young master of the Jiang family, I deliberately wore a regular suit for the interview. The entire outfit I was wearing cost less than 500 yuan. I was very satisfied with my current appearance. I cheerfully put on that cheap suit. I spun around in front of my family, showing off. The whole family looked at my outfit with an indescribable expression. They never expected that such a cheap set of clothes would appear in the Jiang family home. Mom opened her mouth to speak, but when she saw my satisfied expression, she silently swallowed her words. It's very nice. If you like it, then wear it. I asked the family driver to take me to a place where it was easy to catch a taxi, then I took a taxi myself. I arrived at the Fu Group building on time. I looked at the magnificent company building and suddenly felt a surge of fighting spirit. The Fu Group is one of the groups leading in City A. Many people would kill to get in, but I was still relying on my own abilities to get into Bai Luoyan's company. I, like the other interviewees, took the elevator to the 6th floor of the Fuji Group building. The assistant in charge of receiving the interviewees was already waiting there. The assistant's eyes scanned the group of interviewees, lingering on me for an extra second. In addition, that assistant also looked at two other men. One was dressed handsomely, the other was dressed like me, in a regular black suit. Seeing that everyone had arrived, the assistant spoke up. Everyone, come get your registration number. When your number is called, you will enter the interview office. All the interviewees went to the assistant to get their registration numbers. I happened to be standing between the two men that the assistant had given an extra look at earlier. The young man in front looked very polite, and his black suit was the same style as mine. The young man seemed to notice this as well, and gave me a shy smile. I smiled back at him. Suddenly, a scoff came from behind me. Immediately after, that man spoke with contempt. Do you guys know how big the Fu Group is? You don't even know how to dress up a little for an interview? A couple of country bumpkins. The other young man and I turned around to look at him at the same time. The man behind me was wearing a light-colored suit and had his hair styled. He was dressed flashily. If you knew, you'd think he was here for an interview. If you didn't, you'd think he was a gigolo looking for clients. I ignored the man and turned back to wait in line for my number. The man dressed like me turned his head back and lowered it, looking much less confident than before. The peacock saw that none of us were paying attention to him. He felt bored and stopped talking. I looked at the registration number in my hand. Number 18. Not too early. Not too late. It's fine. I took my number and went to the side to sit down, waiting for the interviewer to call. The man dressed like me came over. Hello. My name is Song Zhao. Can I sit next to you? I looked up. Sure. Have a seat. Song Zhao gave a smile and shyly sat down next to me. As for the peacock from earlier, he also sat near us. The peacock's number seemed to be quite early. Soon it was his turn. The assistant called out loudly, Jiang Tao. I subconsciously looked up. I didn't expect that peacock to have the same surname as me. As for Song Zhao, after hearing Jiang Tao's name, his eyes flickered. He lowered his head, his expression unclear. Jiang Tao stood up calmly, adjusted his clothes, and walked into the office. Song Zhao looked at Jiang Tao's back with admiration. A hint of loneliness flashed in his eyes. I noticed it and thought he was lacking confidence, so I reached out and patted Song Zhao's shoulder. You're Song Zhao? Right, I am Jiang Chen. It's okay. The interviewers value ability. You'll definitely pass the interview. Hearing this, Song Zhao lowered his head again. Before he could say anything discouraging, I spoke again. Be confident. Chest out. Head up. You can do it. After seeing the encouragement in my eyes, Song Zhao's lips curled slightly. He smiled. Thank you, Jiang Chen. You're welcome. Very soon after, Jiang Tao walked out smugly. As he passed by us, he deliberately glanced at me. Then he walked quickly towards the water dispenser. Not long after, Jiang Tao came over with a cup of hot water. As he passed by me, the cup of water spilled directly onto my clothes. Jiang Tao immediately pretended to be flustered and said, Oh, sorry, my hand slipped. You don't blame me, do you? I glanced at Jiang Tao and clearly saw the smug look in his eyes. I stood up and snatched the remaining half cup of water from Jiang Tao's hand and poured it straight over his head. I looked at his pathetic state and smirked. Of course I don't blame you, because I always get my revenge on the spot. My hand slipped. Just now too. You won't blame me either, right? Jiang Tao was stunned for a moment, then let out a curse. Fuck you. He looked at me with hatred. Are you crazy? If looks could kill, I am afraid I would have been torn to pieces by him by now. The disposable paper cup was empty. I calmly tossed it aside. I glanced at him. Tit for tat. I learned it from you. Jiang Tao glared at me fiercely. He raised his fist to hit me. The assistant heard the commotion and hurried over. After seeing that it was me and Jiang Tao causing trouble, his expression was a bit complicated as he asked, What happened? Before Jiang Tao could tattle, I calmly said to him, Your clothes are wet. Don't you need to go change? Jiang Tao's face darkened. He didn't bother arguing with me anymore and ran straight to the restroom. I smiled and turned to look at the assistant. Sorry for disrupting the interviews. The assistant was also a little surprised. He stared at me blankly. It's fine, just be more careful. You too. After speaking, the assistant left. I calmly sat down and saw Song Zhao looking at me with an admiring expression. What is it? You're really amazing. I was stunned for a moment, then smiled. Song Zhao, you have to remember, if you're too weak, others will just take advantage and bully you even more. Only when you are tough yourself will others not dare to look down on you. Song Zhao pondered these words and nodded thoughtfully. Yeah, I understand. By the way, your shirt is wet. Do you want to go dry it? There was a large wet patch on my shirt. It really needed to be dried. So I took my things and went to the restroom. I happened to run into Jiang Tao there. Jiang Tao had just finished drying himself off. He was afraid I would get him wet again, so he didn't dare to pull any more tricks. Jiang Tao glanced at me, snorted coldly, and walked out. I went into the restroom and changed into the white shirt I had brought. To deal with unexpected situations, I had specially prepared a spare set of work clothes to bring with me. It turned out my preparation was not in vain. After changing my shirt, I left the restroom. Song Zhao looked up at me, a little surprised. So you even prepared a spare set of clothes. Did you predict that someone would? At this point, Song Zhao subconsciously glanced towards Jiang Tao. Seeing him snort and turn away, he dared to finish the rest of his sentence. That someone would cause trouble for you? I shook my head. I just have a habit of preparing multiple plans. It's good to be cautious. Song Zhao nodded in agreement. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think of that. Very quickly, the assistant called Song Zhao's name. I gave him a cheering gesture. Song Zhao, good luck. Song Zhao thanked me. Thank you, Jiang Chen. He stood up and walked towards the office. Very quickly, Song Zhao returned. He didn't look very good. He sat down next to me, looking a little disappointed. I hesitated before asking Song Zhao, what's wrong? Song Zhao glanced at me and sighed. I don't think I did very well. I didn't know where Song Zhao had messed up. I could only offer a few perfunctory words of comfort. Song Zhao kept his head down and said nothing. Just then, the assistant called my name. Hearing that, I stood up, but gave Song Zhao a worried glance. Song Zhao looked up and forced a smile. I am fine. You do your best. I nodded at him. Yeah, don't overthink it either. After saying that, I went into the office. Song Zhao noticed the gaze of Jiang Tao staring intently at me. I walked into the office and calmly sat down. The interviewer held my resume. Several interviewers looked at it and were very satisfied. You're Jiang Chen, right? I nodded. Yes. The interviewer said, We've looked at your resume. All aspects of your profile are excellent. I thanked him politely. Thank you. The interviewer continued to ask, so, please briefly tell us the reason why you want to join our Bay group. I answered calmly, yes. The Bay group. The interviewers looked at each other and nodded. After I finished speaking, several interviewers had smiles on their faces. A very good answer. Please go outside and wait for the results. I quickly thanked them. Yes, thank you. Interviewers. After speaking, I stood up, bowed to them, then walked out and closed the door. I let out a long sigh of relief. I returned to Song Zhao's side. Song Zhao saw that I looked relaxed and knew I must have done very well. Jiang Chen, how did it go for you? I smiled at him. I think it went well. Song Zhao smiled back at me. Oh, is that so? Should I congratulate you in advance then? I shook my head. Anything can happen before the results are announced. It's better to wait for the results. Song Zhao glanced at me. A faint smile appeared on his lips. You're right. The interviewees went in one by one, and then came out one by one. After the interviews were over, the recruiters discussed for over half an hour. He was completely dazed. I gently patted his shoulder. Song Zhao, congratulations on getting hired. Song Zhao still looked incredulous. Did I really get hired? I really got hired? Hearing his words, Jiang Tao sneered contemptuously. Ignorant country bumpkin. Faced with Jiang Tao's ridicule, Song Zhao didn't take it to heart. Right now, he only had one thought in his mind, which was that he had been hired by the Bai group. I smiled and said, from now on, we're colleagues. I look forward to working with you. Song Zhao quickly nodded at me. Looking forward to it. The CEO's office on the 18th floor. Bai Luoyan was handling company affairs. At this moment, Assistant Xiao Li walked in and placed a stack of documents beside her. President Bai, these are the documents that need your signature. Bai Luoyan didn't look up. Just leave them there. Xiao Li put the documents down and was about to leave. Bai Luoyan suddenly called him back. The thing I asked you to do earlier, have you informed the people below? Xiao Li was stunned for a moment, then immediately nodded. Yes, it's been taken care of. The HR department will act according to your wishes. Bai Luoyan waved her hand, signaling for him to leave. Xiao Li left the office. A colleague from the same department came over. Hey, Xiao Li, what did President Bai say to you? Xiao Li glanced at him and said casually, have you forgotten President Bai's personality? What are you asking nonsense for? The person dejectedly shrank back and didn't dare to ask any more questions, but he still couldn't contain his curiosity. He clearly saw this morning that Xiao Li had made a trip to the HR department. Xiao Li returned to his workstation. He couldn't help but recall the task Bai Luoyan had given him. Bai Luoyan, without my knowledge, gave me a small favor at the company, but didn't reveal my identity. She only told Xiao Li to tell the HR department, when assigning work, the view is good, and the environment is also good. But when it came to my turn, it wasn't so good. The view was very poor, and it was near the restroom. I felt that this Zhao Rong was deliberately targeting me. Probably because she saw that I didn't have as good a background as Jiang Tao, but I didn't plan to reveal my identity, so I could only endure it. Seeing me being suppressed, Jiang Tao felt extremely pleased. He immediately turned around and flattered Zhao Rong. Song Zhao also didn't expect to be assigned a good spot. He originally thought that my spot would be his. He said to me with some guilt, how about I switch seats with you? I glanced at him and shook my head. No need. You just sit there. It's fine here too. A conflicted look appeared on Song Zhao's face. I patted his shoulder. It's really fine. It's just a seat. All right then. Because it was the first day of work? Even though the business department was extremely busy, we still had nothing to do. 5 minutes before getting off work, I received a message from Bai Luoyan, telling me not to rush home after work, but to wait for her to go home together. So, as soon as it was time to get off work, Jiang Tao and Song Zhao started packing up. I, on the other hand, was not in a hurry. Then I made an excuse to go to the restroom, and didn't go downstairs with them. I stayed in the restroom for a while before coming out. Then I took the elevator down to the underground parking garage. Bai Luoyan was already waiting for me there. I walked the whole way like a thief, sneaking out of the elevator. I walked towards Bai Luoyan's car. As soon as I got close, the driver opened the back door. I quickly got in the car. Very quickly, the car left the parking lot. As soon as I got in, Bai Luoyan snuggled into my arms, her warm lips pressing against my cheek. How was your first day at work? I looked at her and thought for a moment. Very good. The first day was very relaxing. Bai Luo. Yan asked, why not go to other, less demanding departments? I rubbed her pouting face. Actually, the business department is quite good. She also said she wanted to celebrate for me. Let's go home. Bai Luo Yan loves hearing me say go home. It gives her a sense of belonging. Okay, let's go home. After getting home, I went to my room to change first before coming down to eat. Seeing Bai Luo Yan come in with me, Jiang Wanru's expression wasn't very good, but because Mom was there, she couldn't show her displeasure. I went downstairs and ran to sit next to Mom. Mom smiled and asked, Jiang Chen, how was your first day at work? I nodded and smiled. Yes, it was very good. Luo Yan's company is very big, and my interview went very smoothly. I also met 2 new colleagues. Mom was very happy to hear that everything went well at work. She looked at Bai Luo Yan. From now on at the company, please take care of Jiang Chen. A proper smile appeared on Bai Luo Yan's face. Yes, I will. Auntie Jiang. To celebrate my first day at work, Mom specially prepared a table full of food. It was dazzling to look at. During the meal, everyone kept putting food in my bowl. In an instant, my bowl was piled high like a small mountain. Knowing it was my family's good intentions, I didn't refuse. After dinner, Bai Luo Yan said her goodbyes and left. I volunteered to see her to the door. Mom was naturally very pleased. As soon as we stepped out the door, Bai Luo Yan very naturally took my hand. I didn't pull away. I slightly closed my fingers and intertwined my fingers with Bai Luo Yan's. Walking on the small path in front of the Jiang family home, Bai Luo Yan suddenly called my name, Jiang Chen. I looked at her. Bai Luo Yan hesitated, wanting to speak but stopping. If I have any difficulties at the company, I interrupted her. Luo Yan, don't worry. I am not the type to let myself be taken advantage of. If I encounter difficulties, I'll find a way to solve them myself. Bai Luo Yan looked at me. After a long while, she sighed softly. She stepped forward and hugged me tightly. Jiang Chen, sometimes I really wish you weren't so independent. My body stiffened. Then I reached out and hugged Bai Luo Yan's waist. Luo Yan, did you know? No one has ever said these things to me. Growing up, everyone around me just said I was a boy. They told me to be a little independent, that it was best not to rely on them. Bai Luo Yan looked at me with heartache. Jiang Chen, from now on, in front of me, you can be weak. Can you try relying on me? I looked up at her. What if I cause trouble? Will you still be by my side? Bai Luo Yan let out a soft HMH. I'll still be by your side. I burst out laughing. Speechless. Miss Bai, you're so lenient with me. Aren't you afraid of spoiling me? Bai Luo Yan thought seriously. Then she stood on her tiptoes and gave me a light kiss on the lips. I am not afraid. In fact, I am hoping for it. I smiled a little helplessly. Miss Bai, where are your boundaries? I still like how you were when we first met. Your cold and noble appearance. Hearing that, Bai Luo Yan smiled with the corners of her mouth, making her already beautiful face even more stunning. My heart couldn't help but beat faster. You are so beautiful. Bai Luo Yan suddenly brought her face close to mine. Her voice was sweet. So, do you like it? I directly gave her a light kiss on the lips. I do. We were intimate for a while before separating. When I returned to the Jiang family home, I was beaming with joy, which made Dad and Jiang Wanru extremely upset. The father and daughter sighed at the same time. The son we had so much trouble finding. His elbow is already pointing outwards. I ignored the resentful looks in their eyes and happily returned to my room. The next day, I still wore my regular clothes to work. The driver took me to a place where it was easy to catch a ride. This time, I chose to take the bus to the company. I happened to run into Song Zhao. He seemed to be half asleep. I walked over to Song Zhao. Song Zhao, what a coincidence. You're here too? Hearing my voice, Song Zhao opened his eyes and saw me. He became a little more awake. Jiang Chen, it's you. I nodded. You're heading out this early too? Song Zhao rubbed his eyes. Yeah, my house is far. What about you? I said vaguely. I live nearby. Seeing that I didn't want to say much, Song Zhao didn't ask further. After standing for half an hour, the bus finally got close to the company. I immediately got off the bus, punching my slightly sore leg. Song Zhao also got off. Seeing me like this, he said guiltily. I should have given you my seat earlier. I patted his shoulder. I am fine. Let's go. Let's go in. We walked side by side towards the Bai Group building. Suddenly, a car stopped by the roadside. The car door opened. Jiang Tao arrogantly stepped out. When he saw me and Song Zhao, the smile on his face faded a bit. He turned, said something to the driver, and then walked towards the company building. The car quickly drove away. Song Zhao looked at Jiang Tao's back and sighed. I am so jealous of Jiang Tao. He even has a car to take him to work. I patted Song Zhao's shoulder. As long as you work hard, you can buy your own car in the future too. Song Zhao was silent for a moment, then nodded. You're right. Song Zhao and I were about to start walking again, when the sound of a car stopping came from behind us. We looked towards the sound. We saw the driver quickly get out of the car and walk around to the back door. He respectfully opened the car door. Bai Luo Yan, in a designer suit, stepped out from the back seat. She walked straight towards the company entrance without looking left or right. When Bai Luoyan appeared, Song Zhao was immediately stunned. His eyes were glued to Bai Luoyan, staring intently. Bai Luoyan subconsciously turned her head to look. Her gaze swept lightly past Song Zhao and lingered on me for an extra second. Then she looked away as if nothing had happened. She acted as if she really didn't know me. As for me, to avoid suspicion, when Bai Luoyan looked over, I immediately turned my head away, but the corner of my mouth secretly curled up. After Bai Luoyan strode away, Song Zhao seemed to snap out of it. That was President Bai, right? I nodded, probably. A hint of infatuation appeared in Song Zhao's eyes. President Bai is so cool, and so young, and talented. She's truly outstanding. I looked in the direction Bai Luoyan had left and muttered to myself, yes, she is truly outstanding. Song Zhao's heart was still on Bai Luoyan. He didn't notice what I said at all. Bai Luoyan is the CEO of the Bai Group. She has a private elevator to go up and down, so she doesn't need to squeeze in with the employees. After getting into the elevator, the corners of Bai Luoyan's mouth lifted slightly. Although the CEO still maintained her icy expression, Xiao Li could sense her good mood. Song Zhao and I walked into the office. As soon as I sat down, someone walked up to my desk. The team leader said to find her in her office as soon as you got to work. After saying that, the person left. Although I had questions, I still went to the team leader's office. I stood in front of the team leader's office and knocked twice. Team leader, it's me. A few seconds later, Zhao Rong's voice came from inside. Come in. I pushed the door open and stepped in, standing right at the entrance. Team leader, you were looking for me. Zhao Rong was all smiles. I became vigilant. She waved me over. Jiang Chen. What are you standing at the door for? Come in and sit down. I looked at Zhao Rong warily, but I still walked into the team leader's office and sat down opposite Zhao Rong. Team leader, is there something you need? Zhao Rong put on a fawning expression. Jiang Chen. It's nothing. I just called you in for a chat. Your resume doesn't mention your family background. I wanted to ask what your parents do for a living. Hearing this, I roughly knew what this Zhao Rong wanted. She was suspicious of my identity. I said seriously, my parents are just ordinary people. My mother is a housewife, and my father is the owner of a small grocery store. The Jiang family got rich from daily necessities. Calling it a grocery store should be fine, right? And my mother really does stay at home and doesn't work. Calling her a housewife isn't wrong, right? After Zhao Rong heard this, she looked at me suspiciously for a long time. Your father really only runs a grocery store? I quickly nodded. That's right. If my father had a lot of money, why would I need to work so hard outside? Team leader. Am I right? Zhao Rong touched her double chin. You have a point. I just smiled faintly. Is there anything else, team leader? If not, I'll be leaving. I don't know what Zhao Rong was thinking. She waved her hand for me to leave. As I reached the office door, she suddenly called me back. Wait, call Jiang Tao in for me. Yes. After I went out, I went to where Jiang Tao was playing games at his desk. The team leader wants to see you in her office. Jiang Tao looked up at me. Then he put down his keyboard and went to the team leader's office. I returned to my seat. Song Zhao immediately came over. Jiang Chen, what did the team leader call you in for? Nothing. She just asked me about my situation. Song Zhao was thoughtful. I wonder if the team leader will call me in later. I shrugged. I don't know either. Well, no. When Jiang Tao comes out, Song Zhao turned his head back in frustration. Jiang Tao was in the team leader's office for a long time before coming out. When he came out, the team leader personally walked him to the door. She had a fawning smile on her face. What a sycophant. Well, team leader, I'll get back to work then. The team leader nodded and bowed. Okay, take care. Song Zhao sat, tensed on his chair. He thought he would be the next one the team leader called in, but after waiting for a long time, there was no movement. He looked towards the office. The team leader had already returned, and Jiang Tao was also back at his desk. Song Zhao curiously asked Jiang Tao, what did the team leader want with you? Jiang Tao glanced at him. He scoffed. Why are you so nosy? Work more, talk less. Song Zhao was rendered speechless. He immediately didn't dare to ask anymore. Not long after, I was called into the team leader's office again. This time, Zhao Ronger's expression was no longer as fawning as before. After I entered the office, Zhao Ronger immediately closed the door. The alarm bells in my heart rang wildly. I put my hand in my pocket and pressed the button on the recording pen inside. Zhao Ronger turned her head back. Her face was full of a despicable, greasy look. She smiled. She walked behind her desk and sat down. Jiang Chen, don't blame this team leader for not reminding you. This is the first lesson of entering society. I raised an eyebrow. Oh, what first lesson? Zhao Ronger lazily leaned back. She placed her hands on the armrests of her office chair. Her eyes scanned me from top to bottom. Then she smiled. Jiang Chen, you just joined the company and you have no background. Do you know the fastest way to establish yourself? My eyes turned cold. How to establish myself? Zhao Ronger clicked her tongue. She clearly didn't expect me to be so slow-witted, making her have to spell it out so clearly. She made a money-counting gesture at me. She said word by word, "Kiss up to your superior. Understand?" Zhao Ronger's suggestion. No, this was already considered being blunt. Zhao Ronger told me bluntly that as long as I was willing to flatter her, I could quickly establish myself in the company, but of course, I wouldn't agree. Even if I didn't have the background of being the young master of the Jiang family, I wouldn't bribe Zhao Ronger for a job. I took out my phone and turned on the video recording function, aiming it at Zhao Ronger's big face. Come on, come on. Team leader Zhao. What did you just say? Say it again. When Zhao Ronger saw me take out my phone to record, she was stunned on the spot. After a long moment, she reacted and tried to snatch the phone. I was already on guard and directly dodged to one side. Whoa, team leader Zhao, don't be shy. Come on. Say a few words for the camera. Zhao Ronger was well-fed and fat. How could she be a match for a young man like me? She straightened her clothes, her face darkening as she pointed to the door. Get out. I put away my phone. I saved the video right in front of Zhao Ronger, then I satisfyingly put my phone away. Zhao Ronger hated it so much she gritted her teeth. If you don't want to be fired, I advise you to behave yourself. Otherwise, she really didn't expect me to be so tough. Although she hadn't had a chance to do anything to me yet, she was still afraid of the matter getting out. She tried to act calm. I didn't do anything. Even if you write a complaint letter, I am not afraid. I shrugged indifferently. Feel free to try. After saying that, I walked towards the office door. Before leaving, I suddenly spoke up. Oh, right. I forgot to tell you. I've learned Sanda. Next time, you should think carefully before you speak. I directly opened the office door and left, saying I learned Sanda was to trick Zhao Ronger. Actually, it was just to temporarily scare her, but this wasn't a long-term solution. Back at my desk, Song Zhao's worried voice sounded. Jiang Chen. Are you okay? I asked him back. I am fine. Why? Song Zhao's eyes flickered. Nothing. I was just afraid the team leader would do something to you. It's good that you're okay. I smiled when I heard that. Song Zhao. If the team leader calls you into the office alone, remember to be careful. Song Zhao had a bewildered expression. Huh? Be careful of what? I sighed. I don't think the team leader is a good person. In short, just be careful. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of. Song Zhao nodded. Just then, Zhao Ronger came out. I immediately went back to my seat. When Zhao Ronger walked out of the office, her gaze rested on me for a few seconds, then a cold smile appeared on her lips. She walked over to a man's desk, said a few words to him, then left happily. I was still wondering why the sales department was so busy while I was so idle. A man suddenly stood by my desk. Go to the file room and bring some documents back. I thought I finally had some work to do, so I nodded. I followed the man to the file room to get the documents. About 10 minutes later, I returned carrying a large stack of documents. That box was very tall and very heavy, but that man had no intention of helping at all. He made me carry such a big box all by myself. Luckily, I've done a lot of heavy lifting before. After the documents were brought back, that man gave me the next task. It was to tell me that before the end of the day, I had to finish organizing the documents I just brought back. I looked at the large box of documents, then at the man with a dark face. All of it? The man's voice was cold. Yes, all of it. You can't go home until it's sorted. I didn't ask any more questions. Instead, I silently started working. Since I wasn't familiar with the work, my progress was very slow. Compared to the idle Jiang Tao and Song Zhao next to me, I was truly too busy. Song Zhao tried to help a few times, but was always met with sarcastic remarks from Jiang Tao. Seeing this, I directly refused Song Zhao's kind offer, and Song Zhao also quickly got his own tasks, but they were just simple errands. As for Jiang Tao, no one asked him for help. He was either playing games or watching soccer. Compared to me, Jiang Tao didn't look like he was here to work, but more like he was here to pass the time. I myself was busy as hell. I had no mind to pay attention to others at all. I didn't even have time for lunch. Song Zhao's face showed worry. Jiang Chen, how about I get you a sandwich or something? I nodded in thanks. Okay. Then thank you, Song Zhao. Almost everyone in the office had left. I was still busy at my desk. When Zhao Ronger walked out of her office and saw this scene, the corner of her mouth lifted high. Oh, Jiang Chen, this is what you get for being tactless. Before the internship period ends, watch how I'll torture you. I will definitely make you obediently come and suck up to me. And I finally finished sorting that box of documents before the end of the day. I let out a sigh of relief. The man who told me to handle the documents during the day was still sitting at his desk. I directly brought the documents over. It's finished sorting the documents. It's time, so I am getting off work now. After saying that, without giving that male colleague a chance to speak, I went directly back to my seat. After packing my things, I left the company. That male colleague's face was full of disbelief. He flipped through them and found that I had really sorted everything. Moreover, it was sorted very well. Even if he deliberately looked for faults, he couldn't find a single one. Today, Zhao Ronger intentionally waited in the office. She just wanted to see me being held back for overtime. But by the time she came out of her office, I had long since left. Her face immediately darkened. Where is Jiang Chen? The colleagues who hadn't left looked at each other. The man who gave me a hard time earlier happened to still be there. He went over to Zhao Ronger and whispered a few words to her. Zhao Ronger's beady eyes widened. He's gone? Didn't I tell you to find work for him to do? That male colleague looked gloomy. Team leader, I really did find work for him to do, but he finished it before the end of the day. Then when it was time to leave, he left immediately. Hearing this, Zhao Ronger's greasy face was full of gloom. Find more work for him tomorrow. When the male colleague heard this, he hesitantly nodded. Zhao Ronger couldn't successfully mess with me. She left in a huff. The next day, I arrived at the office in high spirits. Just like yesterday, that male colleague gave me a task again. This time, the documents to be sorted had become 3 boxes. I looked at those documents. My eyes casually glanced at the documents. Do documents from several years ago need to be sorted? Are you stupid or am I stupid? The male colleague's eyes showed a bit of guilt, but his mouth was very stubborn. An intern. Just do what you're told. Stop talking nonsense and move them. I glanced at him. A smile suddenly appeared on my lips. All right then. I moved the boxes of documents one by one to my desk. Then, just like yesterday, I started sorting. Seeing this, the male colleague nodded in satisfaction. He returned to his desk to start work. I indeed looked very busy, but it was just an act. I was sure. The tasks given to me these 2 days were deliberately meant to mess with me. Those documents probably weren't important either. Since they were unimportant things, I wouldn't be stupid enough to be like yesterday, staying behind instead of going for lunch, sorting documents in the office. At noon, I stood up, preparing to go to the company cafeteria for lunch. That male colleague saw this. He immediately stood up from his seat. Jiang Chen, where are you going? I glanced at him, my tone indifferent. Isn't it lunchtime now? Do you have to ask when I go to eat? The male colleague was choked up. He was a bit unhappy. His eyes fell on my desk. Is your work done yet? Do you have the face to go eat? I glanced at his computer, which wasn't turned off. Then you shouldn't eat either. That male colleague unconsciously retorted. Why? I said coldly. Is your work done? Not yet. Then do you still have the face to go eat? Soft snickers sounded from around. The male colleague's face flushed red. I raised an eyebrow. Did I say something wrong? The male colleague had nothing to say this time. The colleagues around were all watching him make a fool of himself. He felt frustrated. I don't care if you're going to eat now or not. In short, those 3 boxes of documents must be given to me before the end of the day. I glanced at him and indifferently said, oh. After saying that, I left the office. The chef hired for the Bay Group's employee cafeteria was very skilled. I chose 2 dishes I liked and found a corner to sit down. Just as I sat down to have lunch, I suddenly heard a gasp of surprise. I turned my head to look, and saw that Bai Luoyan had also come to the employee cafeteria. Xiao Li got food for his boss and started looking for a seat. Looking across the entire cafeteria, it seemed only the spot opposite me was empty. Bai Luoyan walked towards me. Her voice was cool. Is anyone sitting here? I swallowed the piece of rib in my mouth and smiled, saying, no. Bai Luoyan sat down straight across from me. Xiao Li placed the tray in front of Bai Luoyan. Then he went to find a seat for himself. Bai Luoyan picked up her chopsticks and started eating. I could sense that. Almost everyone's eyes were focused on us. I calmly ate my food and opened my mouth to ask her quietly, why did you come to the employee cafeteria? Bai Luoyan's face was calm. It's not bad to come here and try the food once in a while. I took the opportunity while eating to hide the smile at the corner of my mouth. So you just came to try the cafeteria food, huh? Bai Luoyan looked up at me. I immediately lowered my head and pretended to eat. She spoke very softly, because I knew I would see you if I came to the cafeteria. I felt that if I didn't eat faster, I would be exposed. After I quickly finished eating, I stood up with my empty tray. CEO Bai, please take your time eating. I won't disturb you anymore. After saying that, I quickly left. Not long after I left, Bai Luoyan also took her tray and left the cafeteria. The male colleagues who wanted to sit at the same table with Bai Luoyan gritted their teeth in hatred. Bai Luoyan was taking the elevator back to her office when she suddenly received a text from me. Don't come to the employee cafeteria tomorrow, she asked confusedly. Why? I replied, if you come a few more times, I am afraid I won't be able to hide my feelings for you anymore. After returning to my desk, I received Bai Luoyan's reply. Just a short one-word reply, okay. The hopes of the male colleagues who wanted to run into Bai Luoyan were all dashed by my words. Jiang Tao was one of them. He came in late and didn't see me and Bai Luoyan eating at the same table, but he still found out about it from some male colleagues. Although Jiang Tao was new, his relationships were very good, perhaps because he was generous. In just a few short days, Jiang Tao quickly gathered a few lackeys. The matter of me in the employee cafeteria, sitting at the same table to eat with Bai Luoyan, was spread by the male colleagues who were present at the scene. After Jiang Tao heard about it, he was unbearably angry. He was afraid that if Bai Luoyan took a liking to me, he would lose the chance to have a marriage alliance with Bai Luoyan. So, after returning from the employee cafeteria, Jiang Tao furiously walked over to my desk. Jiang Chen, you bastard. With that, Jiang Tao raised his hand to punch me. I directly grabbed his wrist. Jiang Tao, Are you sick? If you're sick, go get it treated. Don't go crazy in front of me. Jiang Tao glared fiercely at me. Jiang Chen, let me go. I let out a cold laugh. Let you go? Let you go so you can hit me? Jiang Tao couldn't pull his hand back, so he resorted to glaring fiercely at me. You have the nerve to do it. But you're afraid of others talking about it? I was speechless. What did I do? Our commotion attracted quite a few onlookers. Jiang Tao pointed at me in front of the crowd and said, I was seducing Bai Luoyan. After I heard that, my mind went blank for a moment. Seeing me say nothing, Jiang Tao thought I was tacitly admitting it, so he jeered even more smugly. Jiang Chen, you should take a look at your own virtue. Fantasizing about climbing up to someone like CEO Bai? Are you worthy? I was so angry, I laughed. If I am not worthy, are you? You don't even look in the mirror to see what you look like. Soft chuckles came from the surroundings. Jiang Tao's face turned green, then red from my words. It was more colorful than a palette. I rolled my eyes. Do you even know what happened before coming to settle scores with me? Who the hell are you? I know you're anxious, but you can't just open your mouth and spout nonsense. Jiang Tao got even angrier. Jiang Chen, you dare to scold me? Bribing the department head wasn't enough for you. You also went to seduce CEO Bai.